Good morning. We're back with session 5 of Atelier Sophie. I know it's going to be a bit of a whiplash if you've just gone from the last stream to this one, from Resident Evil to Atelier Sophie. But here we are. I wanted to get at least one Atelier Sophie stream in this week because I know this is going to be the only one we're going to get in this week. And that's not even, like, exaggerating. Tomorrow and Thursday are going to be dominated by Genshin. Friday is going to be Soul Hackers 2. And probably Saturday and Sunday as well, even though I haven't planned them out yet. And then next week, we'll probably be juggling this alongside Soul Hackers until we get this done. So I don't know how much we've got. And then when this is done, it will be... Or maybe not even when this is done, depending on how it goes. We will be, like, all in on the Resident Evil marathon. But last time we left off, we made a lot more progress on this, all the recipe books and whatnot. Still don't have an exploding uni bag, but at this point, fuck, I guess we don't need it. Or a flickering light spruce, or whatever that is in the middle. And talking to a fortune teller, I don't know what that is or what that entails. But my main focus is this. We've been 5 points short for an extremely long time. Apparently, it's just literally by triggering unique scenes that fills up, but we've triggered a lot and it stayed at 95, so clearly we're missing something. But I saw someone mention that they got a lot of points when they made weapons for their teammates, so that's where we're going. Oh well, in the morning, that's where we're going to start. We're going to go to the blacksmiths, because I don't think we made a second sword for Chris.
どんな武器を作りたいんだ? どの材料を使うのか教えてくれ。つけたい特性を選んでくれ。これでいい。よし、完成だ。我ながら。
And hopefully this scene will boost our points enough. Alright, they're done. I'll go call Fritz. And also, yes, it's in my pinned comment, but just for people that hop in, this stream will be slightly shorter, probably, just because Genshin will almost definitely be super long tomorrow. And so will the Thursday stream. And so will Soul Hackers. And so for the sake of, you know, letting me rest a little bit, we can do that. But we've got exciting things to talk about. I'll let this scene play out, but we've got Gamescom tonight, so that's super exciting, at least for me. How are they? Yes, these are good swords. I see, that's a relief. What? You weren't confident about them? I don't have many opportunities to make two swords that I intended to be used at the same time. Wait, really? Yeah, most people only use one sword at a time. There's a lot of people who use a shield with it too. And if you're going to hold two at once, you're better off holding one sword that's bigger. Now that you mention it, Monaco and Julio do that. Once you get used to it, using two swords is just as effective. Why do you use two swords? It's easier to handle unforeseen situations, and it's better for fighting multiple monsters alone. Huh. Anyway, thank you. I'll use them with care. They lied to me. They didn't go up at all. Hello guys. I was hoping that would be enough, but never mind. But essentially, we just need to keep on triggering little scenes until eventually that point ticks over. It's just how much we need to do before it ticks over is the problem. Have we actually got any requests? I can't remember how we left. It's been a little bit. They also said getting rumors surrounding people can help. So I might do that. I might see what rumors we can get. I'm aware we've only got so much money, but still. So that, gee, I should buy several. Okay, no moss. No moss. Sorry, I just scrolled onto it. No rumors about people, at least right now, or people related. Doing things that you normally don't want to do can be a valuable experience. For example, maybe walking until you collapse. Just joking. You can make a lightning bomb. I realised what that one was the moment I clicked on it. No, yeah. I realised what that one was the very second we clicked on it. Oh, our piano skills are getting better and better. If nothing else, I want to get that trophy, the piano trophy. Apparently this game isn't too hard to actually get the Platinum for. It's just, you know, it's long. It's a long game to get everything for. You have to work at it for a while. Sealed knowledge scrap? That sounds so... So I'll buy one, because I'm curious. We don't have to have that much money. Also, I just remembered, it's like, hang on a minute, there's a bomb tax we have to be wary of outside. Enough so that I think I need to sell a couple things just to make sure we're not screwed over. No, keep scrolling along. I just want to see who's got what. You draw attention. That's the problem. It's like consume less MP. That'd be brilliant. It draws attention. You know, you're tanky. You can have people. You can have draw attention. I already have you at the front to try and do that. Let's go to the Atelier and make our lightning bomb first, and then we will head over. I have to remember what the control... If you're wondering why I'm like fiddling around so much, it's because I'm trying to feel out the controls again. It's been a little bit since we played this. I'm trying to quickly remind myself. Now we can turn that in. Even if it was nighttime, we could still go to the cafe. That's fine. No, that's not rumor. I want request. I'm still readjusting. Have this S-class lightning bomb I made. And where are those enemies? The Merbet farm. Oh wow, I'm surprised I remembered where that was. I just kind of auto-drifted to that direction. I'm amazed I remembered. Okay, I was gonna see if any of the enemies were going to be in here, or if they're all in the cave. A thing doesn't seem to be around, so I guess that just means we need to start looting the area a bit more. Level it up a bit. And when it goes to nighttime, check both outside and inside again. But yeah, whilst we're doing this, Gamescom is tonight, and at least personally, I'm really looking forward to it. And I don't say this often for Jeff Keighley events. I'm always cautiously looking forward to them. But most of the time, 90% of the things that are announced are things that I'm just not that interested in. Because I'm not like the biggest... I'm not the biggest Western AAA fan, for the most part. There are some exceptions where some games break the mold and do it, but a lot of them feel like they follow the same rules too much that I kind of drift interest. But I kind of go, yeah, alright, it's that game, or whatever. But there is some pretty exciting stuff. I am excited for the Callisto Protocol. I have said that several times as someone who actually liked Dead Space. I'm really excited to see what happens of that. I'm really curious about Star Rail, even though I probably won't play it because it's a Hoyoverse game. I am at least going to, like, you know, give it the time of day, at least take a look at it. It's just I'm not really into tactical RPGs that much. Hey, there's the enemy I'm after. But I am interested in that, so another trailer for that, it's like, okay, sweet. But then ultimately, the big one I'm sitting on, and you might have been able to tell this from a mile away, is Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is supposedly getting a full reveal trailer, a proper trailer, for like what feels like the first time in its entire advertising life, its marketing life. And I can't wait for it. I'm hoping we'll actually get a better idea of what's going on with the narrative, because we've seen leaks, or quote-unquote leaks. It's hard to tell how legit they are, of what the story might be about like existentialism and the AIs and whatnot, like almost like an AI robot kind of story with some of it. And I was like, okay, that could be super cool and interesting. As someone who, you know, has a very biased love for the Dark Era. But we don't know how legit that is, and it could be something else entirely. And then we also still don't know that much about this Sage character, how friend or foe she may be. To be honest, personally, I would want her to be more foe, because I want, and from what we've been told, she sounds like an interesting villain, and I so desperately want, assuming she is a villain, she's not just like a different alternate take, because ultimately Sage just doesn't want Sonic on the islands. She wants him gone. And that doesn't necessarily make her a villain. That could just be someone protecting the home, you know, like the get off the lawn type of character. But if she is villainous, I hope it makes her, or leads to something that makes her more interesting than any other non-Eggman villain we've had throughout the Colors era. Because that's the thing that's always bugged me. Like, I appreciate what the Colors era was going for, and I understand why it did what it did, and why it changed its tone so much. But I so missed, like, the deeper stories. Like, I say deep, I'm not going to pretend they were, like, Shakespearean masterpieces, but they were, you know, they were more to them. There was character growth, there was reasons for fighting, there was emotional consequences, there was lessons to be learned. It had significance. And the Colors era, none of them did. It was just constant, like, quips from Sonic that weren't funny most of the time. And then they would find one that they thought was funny and then reuse it in every single Colors game, like Baldy McNosehair. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure. Maybe I'm just the old man and doesn't understand modern humor, but it just was, like, none of those games ended up sticking with me tonally. Like, none of their stories mattered. Some of them had great level design. Like, I love Generations' level design. I think Generations is by a country mile the best Colors era game, because it's the only one I straight up enjoyed, no questions asked. Every single other one, it was always like Colors was way too short. Lost World wasn't my cup of tea. Forces is genuinely bad in my opinion. I just didn't like it at all. So having this, but one of the biggest, like, consequences of it is that both Lost World and Forces, the latter two, had unique villains that weren't just Eggman. And in both instances, I kind of felt like they fell apart a little bit. Infinite more so. Everyone mocks. I don't know why I came back. Everyone mocks the unfortunate fallout that was Infinite as a villain, and how useless he ultimately became. He was such a waste of time villain, and his motivation was pathetic. It just made him a laughingstock, because his whole motivation is that he got beat in a fight once and got called a loser, and he didn't take it, and that was it. And then he became the big bad, and I was like, come on. Come on. And at least at Deadly Six, there was at least some kind of, like, hierarchy that made them a glimmer more interesting. They just never did anything with it. Like, Zavok didn't want, I always forget what the old man was called, but the old man at Deadly Six, he didn't want him to be involved because he felt it was beneath the old man. And he respected him too much that he didn't want him to be involved in something that could hurt him. That was interesting. Shame they did nothing with it beyond that one little scene where he says it. Anyway. But I'm hoping with Frontiers, where from what we can tell, the big thing with Frontiers, and I promise you, if you're not used to Sonic and you're hearing this and going, uh-oh, stop. This is genuinely, in my opinion, the best news we got out of it. They're genuinely doing what they want and not just chasing and following what the audience want. Because people make jokes out of it, but the actual situation of it's a lot easier to understand, I'd like to think, than you'd realize. It's not that no Sonic fan can agree on what it is, it's that Sonic is an insanely gargantuan brand still to this day, and the Sonic franchise has gone through so many changes, it's literally impossible to please everyone, because people will come in at different times. People who love the classic era, people that love the adventure games, people that love the dark era, people that love the early boost formula, people that love the later boost formulas, the people that love, you know, like the more celebratory, storyless games like Generations and Mania. I would say that Mania does have more, they both do have stories, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, the people are coming from different angles, different things. There's probably a Boom fan somewhere out there. I doubt it. But there probably is somewhere. And so that's another group of audience that have a different expectation, a different thought of what Sonic is. How on earth do you please all of them? The answer is just stop trying. Just do your own thing that's fun and people will come to it. If it ends up leading to yet another new group of audience, then so be it. You know, it's something that just... Man, they really went out on a vendetta to take her out, didn't they? These enemies solely decided Monica is the one that had to go down. I was just trying to talk, guys. Ow. Ow. Which is interesting, because I put the item on Julio to make it so people attack him more often, and they still just rinse Monica instead. Is that the enemy for the quest? It is, good. So we can yeet ourselves out of here. I am going to heal this poor woman as well while we're at it. There you go, Monica. I'm going to loot that. You see that stash on the minimap of like a bunch of loot? I'm going to go clean that out if I can. There's so much here, it'd be rude not to. Hey, one man cast. Sophie Bezal, there you go. Yeah, yeah, I've got her in her alternate costume. We were just talking about Gamescom, dude, and like what I was looking forward to, and it led to me talking about Sonic again because I can't help myself. And how I'm actually more excited for Frontiers because the dev team have made it clear and told us repeatedly they're prioritizing doing what they want to do instead of trying to please everyone. And I was talking about how because Sonic has had so many changes. Where is it, Gamescom? Tonight, it's on tonight. I don't know what time it'll be US time, but UK time it's on at 7. It's another Jeff Keighley run program, like Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards. And it's going to be like essentially, there's a con in the name of it suggests. It is a convention that people go and you can try out new games before they're out. But the main reason people look forward to it is the opening night, because that's a huge, like, 2 or so hour show of game reveals. Some of them being more details than old games, some of them being brand new, like, world premieres titles. And because it's Jeff Keighley running it, it's a almost guarantee that some of the companies in it are going to be like super AAA. Like, you know, we might get a new Microsoft super big title announced or something like that. And so people are excited for it. And we know things like Callisto Protocol, you know, the Dead Space spiritual successor, are going to be there. Sega have straight up told us that a full trailer finally for Sonic Frontiers is going to be at it. Better version of Game Awards. Yeah, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. Actually, no, that might be Summer Games Fest I'm thinking of before I say that. I was going to say, I think they do their own little award bit just for a laugh. I say for a laugh, but Jeff obviously wants the awards to feel more prominent, but I think that Summer Game Fest he does that. I don't think he does that in Gamescom. Gamescom is more about the opening night where you get like 2 or so hours of game reveals, and then the next 3 or 4 days, most of the games that got game reveals will have like a machine set up at the convention for you to play and try out. And it's also, even ignoring the Sonic Frontiers trailer, going to be the first time there's not going to be any NDAs on Sonic Frontiers. So anyone who goes and plays it at the convention can record their own footage of it. Right, what are we hunting here? I've already forgot. Okay, like a pink purplish whale thing. So not you, a stronger variant of you. I did click X to advance, but I guess not. But it should be fun. I don't know what time it is like in other time zones. If you want to find out, at least in the UK, it's 7 PM British summertime. So if you put 7 PM BST and then to your time zone, you'll find out what kind of time it's on. Do you have the bigger version with you? Of course you don't. And so if it being a Jeff Keighley show, it doesn't mean I'm expecting to suddenly get... What's so funny, from my whole YouTube career, I've never done a channel intro. You know, I don't have a channel intro video either, I don't think. I have, like, standard video intros. Like I always say, good num num morning at the start of each video, because it's a nod to my favourite character in Danganronpa, Ibuki Miyoda, because she always goes, good num num morning, and I just found that really cute. But in terms of actual, like, channel intros, no. When I used to do Let's Plays, I had a, like a 10-second long, like, video intro bit. Also, a Platinum Neo G versions of the Mysterious Trilogy and Sophie DX. Fair enough, dude. I'm playing it blind. Actually, if you've Platinumed it, you might be able to help me out. How the hell do you advance that? What? I talk to people, I'm doing side quests, that number's not moving. So I've just been doing side quests and hoping eventually a dialogue situation will pop up that will bump me up. I've made new weapons for everyone that led to unique scenes, because I need to make new unique weapons anyway. I've met a lot of extra faces, like if I go to... Oh, it won't let me change them here, but yeah, I've met Frizz, I've got Leon and Core in the party. Or friendship memories with Plachta. But how do you do that? So I'm filling this out. I am filling this out and talking to Plachta every chance I get, but things aren't happening. And that's what I mean. Like, this was more parts of relevance. Okay, I'll do this quest and I'll go like poke the book and be like, oi, why aren't you doing this? Oh, I've got loads of these things. Okay. Can a more pinkish one come up? I'm going to go somewhere else. There's got to be somewhere else where the pink ones could show up. Let's try the Prospector stand. No, that's still the green ones. But at least it says a transitional zone, so we have more opportunities. So I have many memories. Another way, believe it's the cafe. Yeah, the cafe's my usual go-to, especially on the weekend, because I tend to get a scene with Tess each time. But it's just like, in the last stream, I like almost started at 95. It felt like I started that part of it and almost immediately zipped up to 95, and then for the rest of the entirety of that stream, it didn't move once, no matter how many people I talked to, how many small scenes I activated, and whatnot. I even got a unique scene in the church because I donated so much money to it. But I digress. After I do this quest, I am going to go wall around, see who I can talk to more as well. So I appreciate that. I've said it before, but as time's gone on, I've kind of committed to that fort a bit more. that my original intention was to play this and then go to Sophie 2. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think when I finish this game eventually, I am going to go on to the second game of the Mysterious Trilogy, and then, you know, the third, and then after that go to Sophie 2. Which means the Riser games, because I did want to start the Riser games at some point, get pushed back way more. And since there's no time restrictions, you can move weeks ahead, so you continue onwards to complete character stream requests. That's the best way to go about it. Yeah, I had a feeling, because I saw, like, it's like, oh, Sophie 2 is based between Sophie 1 and, was it Theoris? And I was like, oh, okay, so I can play Sophie 2. But they reference things that kind of expect you to understand the whole Mysterious Trilogy. And I was like, okay. It's a dip in quality. You're not the first person to say that, which is baffling to me, because Riser was the first, like, HD era Gust game I played, and I loved it. And I always found that so strange. It's like Atelier fans didn't like Riser, yet as someone who wasn't into the Atelier series, I loved it. Like, I don't know if you've been in chat when I've told this story about my history with Gust, but back in the PS2 era, I remember seeing one of their games. I can't remember which Atelier game it was. I think I'm wrong, I love Riser, it's just woefully inferior. Okay. But it's like, when I, on the PS2 era, I found a Atelier game. I can't tell you which one it was, so I honestly can't remember. I was a kid. But I didn't like it. I didn't click with it at all. And I was just like, okay. And I just wrote off Gust for, like, the longest time. And it was only when Riser was getting, like, mass publicity that I eventually went, alright, fine, I'll give it a go. And I loved it. I still haven't played Riser 2, but I loved Riser 1. I genuinely had a lot of fun with it. I loved the non-linearity of it, and how more open it was in whatnot. Soundtrack and the side characters. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I loved Riser, and I loved Claudia, and even, like, some of the other mains I wasn't too... Backlash in politics? Really? The reason why I remember it taking off is because everyone was making jokes about her thighs. If I'm honest. That's what I remember. Everyone was making jokes about how, like, that she had, like, thighs for days. And I've also heard good things about Riser 2, and as it stands, it's still the only Gust game that's got a PS5 version. Like, a full PS5, like, built system. And I'm curious how many criticisms they took in and addressed from the first game in that one then. When I, you know, forever from now get to it. Because it does feel like it'll be forever. With how many other things I'll be doing. It was when the conspiracy theories of Sony ran wild and unchecked, and Riser 2 is an improvement. Oh, for fan service. Right, yeah. But that was the thing. It's like... It's such a mixed bag, because yes, Sony were... Look, Sophie 2 eclipses Riser 2. Yeah, fair enough. Sony were quite vicious with a lot of censorship, but it got to a point where if there was anything that even remotely suggested censorship in a game that was on a Sony platform, people immediately, like, cracked their knuckles and looked at Sony, when some of the time, like, the one I bring up is Death End Request 2. A lot of people thought that game was super censored compared to the first one, and it's like, and then you look into it, read any of the art books, the art team themselves grew more attached to the characters and didn't like the fact they were so sexualized, and so wanted to tone them back themselves in the sequel. So it had nothing to do with Sony. They themselves wanted to tone things back because they wanted the characters to be, they wanted the narrative of the characters to be more appreciated and not just, you know, the look of them. And to be fair, the Riser Sophie 2 takes some features from Riser 2's mechanically. Yeah, I've heard a lot that, other than being the most recent, it's also the most, like, impressive Sophie 2 in terms of what Gus managed to accomplish and do with it, which makes me more excited for it. Like, my reason for giving the Atelier series as a whole another go, though, wasn't actually because of Riser. I treated Riser as a one-off and just kind of carried on. It was the Blue Reflection games. Blue Reflection 2 was so phenomenal to me. I loved it. My theories on the art was that the poll was done to generate controversy in sales. But it's... Very, very, very few companies will ever willingly do something they know will cause controversy. Because controversy will generate more sales on the short term, sure. It will. But the keyword's on the short term. It will make a negative word though, and controversy in negative words sticks out a lot. Yeah, it creates money short term, but it can create so many risks long term because word of mouth is such a powerful thing. Study business, yeah, that makes sense. But then you know especially what I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, it might be, controversy is great short term, but it's so dangerous long term that unless you're very fucking bold and confident in yourself, that's not something you would willingly try and do. But it's how you approach it. Yeah, true. I'm never going to claim to be a business expert. I studied psychology, not business, in college. I don't know. I know how people work and how people take things, not how the industry works and how the industry takes things. And with how much of a I don't want to sound too harsh, but it can definitely be like this. Troll mentality some of the internet can definitely have and feed off. Risking controversy can really just create problems later on. Never believed it was Sony's call as a result. Yeah, and the thing is, nowadays especially, if like there was a game like this year came out and someone was like, oh, they censored things, it must have been on Sony, I'd genuinely probably call that person out and be like, probably not. Because Sony's practices bottlenecked, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, when an indie game called Censor Cyberpunk Story came out and Sony told them to censor it, and instead of doing so, the entire dev team took to Twitter and got a trend going of like, be better Sony or something like that. I don't know if you remember that. And it ended up actually hitting like the top spot on trending. And conveniently, a week later, the Sense devs were told that they would no longer need to censor their game whatsoever, and it released as is on PlayStation. And conveniently, since then, every single Sony release I've seen hasn't been censored. Very few games outside of very extreme situations. Like if it's like, yeah, okay, of course that wasn't going to make it to console because it would make it an adult-only game if it did, have been censored. Like, Sony have changed their beliefs, so I completely agree with you in that sense, one man. Where I not just with Ryza, but like in most modern games, if someone turned around and was like, oh, it's a Sony thing, I'd be like, what? Are you sure? You know, my first instinct would be to doubt it, and it's not as me like fanboying or anything. It's because I've seen how Sony responded to that explosion the other year. That's an alternative in case things get bad. What do you have? Do you have Steam? the world's easiest alternate strategy. I think for me personally, back when like Sony were real bad with it, my tipping point was when like goody two shoes, always kid friendly Nintendo had less censorship in their games than Sony. And like Dragon Star Varnir came out, a extremely underrated game. No, none. That's true. Fair enough. But it's like Dragon Star Varnir, even though it's very under budgeted, very rushed in some areas, I still really enjoyed it. But Sony did push censorship on that game, and one of them is that there's a shot where you can see Minessa's thigh, and they made it that the camera super zoomed in on her so you couldn't see her thigh anymore in that cutscene, and it's not on the Switch version. And I just remember sitting there and being like, when does it get to the point where it's like, why is this a problem to see a thigh? Why did Sony have a problem with this? And we know it's because Idea Factory mentioned it, said due to Sony's procedures we had to change the scene. I was like, what? Style strat, it's a bit wonky, but consider this one aspect. What if fans care enough, collectively get together and buy from previous gen Sony consoles? What would be the end goal, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what would be the ultimate hope on the other end of it? Say, go with 20-50% fan service players, and you spend a set of like, make money talk. You're going full business. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're going full positive reinforcement businessman. You're like, if you make it's literally the whole speak with your wallet mentality you're going for. If you have a bunch of fan servicey, more sexualized things suddenly make a lot of money, Sony will notice it and will lean into it. Because business talks. I get it. It took me a minute. Sony won't acknowledge the negative reinforcement because they take no hit. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't want to, like, be overly optimistic or naive, but they clearly were affected by something because of how the censorship system they do now has changed. You know? Like, I don't know if the trending on Twitter ever actually led to loss in sales. I don't keep up with it that much. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, I'll pick this up. Verdant Hill, where's that? Oh, I can go to there to do it instead, but it says Verdant Hill, so I just want to check there first. I'll be nice. There we go. I think that's a more social aspects, but I think they chose it as a PR move. Yeah, but if they made it as a PR move, why didn't they ever announce it? Now, why did Sony never announce that they were changing their policy? It was the company that attacked them and started the trend that said, hey, we got an email saying we're good. If you're doing it for publicity, wouldn't you want to go all in and be like, hey, we're changing our policies to be nicer to you? Or is it because they were... Also note that resting for a set amount of time can also... Yeah, you said that a minute ago. I want to do this quest first, and then I am going to start, like, jumping days a little bit to see what happens. Oh, that was an enemy I wanted, damn it. I think that was the imp guy. Let's see if it's just going to show up in the cave. Guess I'm trying to have their cake and eat it too. Yeah. On the cave's only got the black puny. There is a bit of construction outside, so I do apologise if you can hear some of it. It's still really warm. It's not full heatwave weather like it was, but it's still super warm in the UK, so I've got my window open. Because, you know, the UK doesn't believe in air conditioning, so the only way to cool it down is just to hope air can get into the house. That's all good. If you can hear it and it does get loud, I can put my windows too, so it's a little quieter, because I've got them open quite wide right now. I think I do need to make it evening again, so I'm just going to try and loot the area to make time zip forward. Actually, I'll fight you because you're in the way. I think we're powerful enough to deal with you comfortably now. At least I hope so. How much trouble these guys gave us earlier. But then going back to the whole fan service topic to begin with, my stance when it comes to fan service is always, if it ticks 2 boxes, it's harmless, and I don't see the problem in it whatsoever. The 2 like things you always have to check for is, at least that I always check for is, firstly, does it affect the view of the character? If a fan servicey scene is going to make you look at a character different or look at them in a worse light, then don't have it. And then secondly, does it make sense? Like, if it's a character development scene and it happens to be in a bathhouse, it can make enough sense that it doesn't bother me at all. But if it's just, hey, this character's just decided all of a sudden to take their shirt off for no reason when they've been really like considerate and like controlled of themselves up until this point, I'm gonna raise an eyebrow at it, because it will just feel like, hey, here's your free wink, here you go. You know? If it does those 2 things, if it feels relevant or makes sense and doesn't affect... With Dirk 2, I never bought it being censored because they made my unfairly sexy as well. Yeah, no, they said with... they still wanted the game to... the characters to be hot, and they still wanted the characters to look good, but they didn't like the fact that characters... Like, most of the Dirk 1 characters were only, like, seen for how they looked in their transformed state, which is, you know, wearing no clothes. And they wanted to change that. They wanted to change that perception, so they pulled it back a little in the designs, so they still looked good, but at the same time not just being, you know, near naked dolls all the time. And I'm trying to think about more artsy. Yeah, I agree. I loved the Dirk 2. But I am biased because I love Dirk 2 so much anyway. Dirk 2's got my favourite like duo. Was one of my favourite duos of characters. Mai and Rotti is such an adorable duo. I can't, like, they're such an amazing couple, and I adore their story and like how and what they go through and what they overcome together. Both of those 2. Yeah, I platinum both of them. Back when I used to do Let's Plays, they were ironically my most successful Let's Plays. More successful in terms of views than any Final Fantasy I covered, including 7 Remake and 15. Any other Idea Factory game, any Uncharted game I Let's Played. It was like, they got like... Given I'm a small YouTuber, so these numbers might not sound like much to some, but they meant a lot to me. The videos were getting like close to 100 views. Like I think the opening video is still got like 200 to 300 views on like Dirk 1 and Dirk 2. While 7 Remake, some of them barely managed to scratch like 6 views. And I was like, oh. What do you mean, oof, 7 Remake? I loved that game. I know people were always like standoffish with the ending, but I'm all for it, because now I get to be excited for something where I don't know what's happening next. Whilst with Remake Part 1, I was excited for something, but I knew exactly what was going to happen. I want to be surprised again. And 7 Remake Part 2, or 7 Rebirth, can do that, so I'm super fucking excited for it. I know the changes weren't for everyone. I know the ending really wasn't... Multiple ways considering someone who's... Ah, okay, yeah. If you're not used... I think the biggest thing that people struggle with 7 Remake, and I completely get the criticism, even if it didn't affect me because of I had so much more knowledge. 7 Remake has way too much of an expectation for you to what you just said, to know the original 7, to know what they're subverting. Because they do. The whole game, the whole of 7 Remake is deliberately designed to subvert your expectations. But if you've never played the original, you don't know what's being subverted. So you don't realize that Sephiroth showing up all the time doesn't make sense. Because in the original 7, he never fucking showed up at any of Midgar. You heard of him, you saw things that might have been him, but you never met him. He was nowhere to be found. You didn't meet him once. Because the build-up of where's Sephiroth and what is Sephiroth capable of continued out of Midgar. You find this giant 50-foot snake stabbed into a tree arched on its back, and Cloud just goes, Sephiroth did this. And that's like the first real indicator you know of what Sephiroth's power is. Whilst in Remake, it's literally chapter 2. He's like, hello, Cloud. And you're like, what the fuck? But it's deliberate. So the whole point of Remake was to subvert expectations. And the entire ending is to tell the player bluntly, we're not just going to remake this game from scratch. Killing off Fates, or the Arbiters of Fate or whatever, was solely designed to make it so when we go into part 2, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And I am all for it personally. Is that event more than a cohesive story to a newbie for me? Yeah, I get that. Like for me, like so I'm biased. You have to forgive me. Like I don't want to make out that I'm trying to invalidate your opinion or anything. I'm just biased. Because I was born and raised on Final Fantasy. The first Final Fantasy I ever played was Final Fantasy IV, and I was like 6 years old when I first experienced Final Fantasy VII, and I finished it like a half a dozen times at that age. I loved it to death, and it's still an extremely important game in my childhood. And so the remake wanting to surprise me in new ways, of course that means a lot to me, you know? Actually, because I'm getting off track of what I wanted to do here, let me turn in this and then go rest. It'll be the same thing they make a Legend of Dragoon. But yeah, but think about it this way then. If they remade Legend of Dragoon, expanded out all of its ideas and features, heavily like added more detail to everything, expanded the world to make it way larger, and then as you creep your way through the story, you realize they've subtly changed things to keep you guessing. I get that there's always that kind of fear and that trepidation of maybe something will go wrong, maybe it won't feel right, maybe they will slip up and it won't feel like a true remake anymore. But there's also the other side of it, as they can surprise you again. They can catch you off guard again. They can hit you with a new plot twist that makes you go, what? Again. With this old classic from your childhood, they can recreate it. Scripted? To be honest, I disagree with that. The scriptingness of the bosses. The scripting of the health was a problem. Putting everything in order to your attack, and then you just hit the lining of the next scripting was like, oh, really? Come on. But especially when you go into hard mode, you feel very quickly there's really no scripting on the bosses. It's just the bosses are designed to base their strategies about what you're doing in the moment, so they feel more scripted. They want it to feel like a movie while still keeping you in control. And so instead of scripting everything, they spent an obscene amount of money into the boss AI to make it that it will complement on normal and especially on easy, their moveset will complement whatever actions you're doing to make it feel more in line with how you're fighting. whilst in hard, it's designed to keep up with you instead. So instead of it feeling more of a you get to play and it always feels like you're still moving forward, which is what they were going for, in hard mode, if you just rely on one strategy, they will choke slam you into the wall, and you will learn very quickly. So the only genuine criticism I had with the boss fights, other than one or two boss fights that I just didn't like, you know, both of the graveyard bosses I wasn't keen on, the Ghost and Elegar, both of them I felt was kind of rough and a bit weird to me, but at the same time, I also understand there weren't any bosses in the graveyard in the original 7, so both of them were weird new additions to fluff out that area. A lot of people are like, oh man, there's so many bosses, and some of them are so different, some of them are out there. And I'm like, yeah, play the original 7. In Midgar, you fight, I think, 3 fucking bosses in the entire thing, and then you leave. You fight the Guard Scorpion, you fight the Airbuster, you don't fight Genova at all. You fight that giant mech thing, that Barret and Aerith fight at the end of the Shinra Tower, and if you want to count it, I guess you fight the motor bug thing that chases you down on the expressway when you're on the motorbike, and that's it. And then you leave Midgar, so 4 bosses. Whilst in the remake, there's like 1 every chapter for a while. And heck, the penultimate chapter of the game has 3 bosses, and then the ultimate chapter has another 2. 3 if you want to count the motorbike boss. Yeah, I can see what you mean by counterintuitive. So I did spot your comment, but I wanted to finish my point a little bit. And their benefit, I can at least relate to Cloud, sort of similar positions character-wise. Yeah, I think that's back in the day when 7 came out, that wasn't actually the intention on Square's part. But when they saw that a lot of people could relate to Cloud wanting to, you know, be the hero and like be the good guy, but ultimately just being a really awkward dork and doesn't really know how to control himself and is really antisocial and like awkward with everything. When they realized people were relating to that, what do? They made Final Fantasy VIII, and they made Squall, and they made Squall an antisocial, introverted teenager who goes whatever to like everything that's spoken to him. The moment they realized people could relate to their characters, and most of them were teenagers, they made a Final Fantasy about it. And 8 is infamously, of the classic lineup, like the most controversial game. Because a lot of people love it. I mean, Ray Chase, the voice actor of Noxus from 15, is his favourite game. But I can think of at least 7 other celebrities that think 8 is a piece of shit and the worst thing to ever happen to the series. In fact, still to this day, I still see WrestleManias where people are holding a sign saying FF8 sucks. Like what the original 7 did with its writing paved the path for the future of Final Fantasy, for better or worse. The biggest problem I had with Remake wasn't just, though, to get back to it, I'm aware I'm jumping all over the place, but if you've been in my stream, this is always me. I always jump from point to point. And if it's something I like talking about unnecessarily hard, yeah, 8 was 8 also reinvented its gameplay, because Square are a firm believer that if you just make the same game twice with a new cast of characters, people won't like it. And they've been like that since the word go. Final Fantasy 2 is very different from Final Fantasy 1. 3 is similar-ish to 1, but very different for 2. Yeah, I'm aware, man, I'm often like, you know, like each Final Fantasy strives to continue reinventing the wheel and like innovating the formula. 8 really changed things from 7. It was still a turn-based RPG, but the nature of how you improved and the nature of how you built yourself was very different from 7. Base 7 is almost identical, just not as modernized and simplified as it is in Remake, where you had your sword, 1 armor piece and 1 accessory, and both your sword and armor you could equip materia to it. The material list in Base 7 was gargantuan and covered extremely tiny, almost percentage value details, whilst in Remake they modernized it a lot more, they cleaned it up and made it a lot more approachable to a casual audience. But back in the original 7, people loved that, because you could turn Cloud into whatever the hell you wanted through the materia. If you wanted him to be a dedicated healer, you could. If you wanted to turn him into a time mage menace, you could. If you wanted to make him a full berserker with very little health but insane attack, you could. And that applied to every character, adding a lot more freedom. Whilst in 8, they made it that you had to drain magic from opponents, and then you could equip that magic as weaponry or armory directly to your stats, which, although was a cool idea in of itself, also made the game far grindier. And it's like, if you put in the commitment, you could be super powerful and it was super fun. But the idea of literally the moment you start 8, you have to be aware of the grind to stand a chance against anything, and understand that you will be spending a good half of this game fighting the same enemies just to make it so you can get these very specific magics to put on your sets. Almost like a card connector trying to get that ultra rare, just fight the same enemy over and over again till you get it. Yeah, people hated that. Some people hated it. Some people loved it. I was very middle of the road with it. I thought it was okay, but I wasn't writing home with it about it. Like, you know, I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything special, but I didn't despise it either because I live with RPG, so I'm used to grinding. I just need to. I was like, I haven't turned any of these in. I should do that quickly. And it's a shame because, like, I think 8. That's how I'm about DMC2. Difference is, DMC2 went through development hell, and it's baffling to me that less than 5. No, I think it was 5 years actually after RE2 and its development story, Capcom decided to not repeat the same thing that saved RE2 with DMC2. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Resident Evil 2, when it was in development, near the end of its release, when it was getting ready to be launched, Kamiya... Yeah, I get that. I'll get to that. But I get what you mean. But when RE2 was about to come out, Kamiya basically talked to his dev team and went, "Are any of you happy with how this game is?" And all of them went, to be honest, no. So Kamiya went to the Capcom officials and went, "Hey, I know we're close to release and whatnot, but can we push back that release date indefinitely and let us completely start from scratch to try and make this right?" And to an insane level of self-awareness, Capcom said yes. And yet, the same situation happened with DMC2 and Capcom said no 5 years later. And it's like, RE2, before RE4, RE2 was the definitive Resident Evil game. Why did this not happen? Because DMC2 didn't have a director for most of its lifespan. It was only in the last couple months, I think it was the last 6 weeks, Itsuno joined in and salvaged it as much as possible. The reason why DMC2 still has some interesting gameplay pivots and some interesting parts to it, and when you when you 100% it and start understanding like some of the intricacies of Dante and Lucia, and even Trish to an extent, it is fun. There is fun to be had with that game. But what it could have been if Capcom said yes and let them start from scratch and do it right, you know? What could have been for a direct sequel before they did DMC3. But at the same time, if DMC2 didn't happen, we might not have ever got DMC3, 4, and 5, so who knows? They could have been, those could have all been very different games as well. But I get it, because like DMC2 is DMC2 is a very different game even from 1, and there are some core mechanics that are missing. Like there's no enemy step. Enemy step was a thing in DMC1 where you could reset your jump if you bounced off an enemy's head. And yet it didn't exist in 2, and that was like, what the heck? There was no time combos. It was now like direction-based combos based on your inputs. There was now like fighting game commands with Devil Trigger, and that's ignoring, you know, the margin forms if you're like a pixel away from death that most people never even knew existed, because DMC2 is kind of easy a lot of the time. Like, there is interesting things there. I thought the margin forms were cool as hell. Especially because I had done so many playthroughs of 2 as a kid. Because like, even as a kid, I knew that something wasn't quite right with 2 compared to 1. So I went back to 1 quite quickly. But I did do several playthroughs of 2. And then as an adult, realizing that this extra form even existed, I was like, what? What? Oh, I want that hustle belt so bad. I'm just gonna keep saving. I managed to survive Trismagia because of the margin. Yeah, that's fair enough. To be honest, must die mode was a lot easier to handle with margin. When I did it for Let's Play. Oh geez, that's the thing. My Let's Play of DMC2 was before DMC5 was even announced. It was the month before DMC5 was announced. Be able to crop better belts later. Yeah, I gathered as much. I've noticed that as a trend. Anything we can buy, we eventually make something better later. And I get that's like gaming 101. If there's a crafting system, you need to feel rewarded for your efforts. So making it so your crafting is better than your buy tends to be the right way to go. It's the same with, like, with armor and swords. I had someone in chat the other day telling me, it's like, hey, yeah, I know you can go to the blacksmith to craft weapons, but eventually you'll be able to make your own, and they'll be way better. I'm like, oh, okay. Sure, I'm feeling spending. Let's have extra stats. Yeah. But yeah, but then, like, the backlash at the time with Final Fantasy VIII, to get back to that, is part of the reason, among many other things. It's a good initial item, yeah. Is many other things, is why 9 was the way it was. Final Fantasy 9, and part of it was because of the criticism of 8. They wanted to do a more back to basics kind of game to give people what they want. But it was also because they knew they wanted to radically reinvent the wheel again. They thought, let's make one more traditional-esque Final Fantasy on the PS1. So then when we go into 10, and 10 completely changes everything, which it did, people still have 9 to fall back on, because it's, you know, that last big hurrah traditional Final Fantasy. I'm just going to go home. People don't have anything to talk about. And to be fair, I like 10. The only Final Fantasy I straight up don't like is 13-3 or 13 Lightning Returns. Favorite is 12, and I completely get it. 12 is a MMO that you... the easiest way to explain it is an MMO that you play alone. It's a single-player MMO. It's got the whole, like, mass world. It's got the whole, you set commands and they happen in real time. There's no turn-based, but it's still a command timescale system. When you target an enemy, this red, like, this blue string will fly off from your character onto the opponent, so you know who's targeting who in your party. Like, it's got the biggest quest log of any Final Fantasy, and each quest actually has its own unique mini-story to it, and it's not just generic get X item, do X thing. The entire hunting system feels like it's straight out of an MMO, because you go on big expeditions to hunt hyper-unique monsters to get hyper-unique loot. And all of the game's super bosses are tied behind the hunting system, because you have hunts and the elite hunts. Like, I completely get it. The dungeons are gargantuan. Fucking, the tower, the Phoenix Tower at the end of the game is... If you're not playing if you're playing the original PS2 version, I feel sorry for you, because in the HD remasters, they give you the ability to speed up the entire game's world. You can make the entire game's world run at double speed or quad speed if you want to. That makes that dungeon shrink it down to about 2.5 hours. And if you're sitting there go, wait a minute, quad feed 2.5 hours? Yes. Now you understand what I mean by how big that goddamn dungeon is. It's so big, the game's coding has to treat it as 4 separate dungeons. You have the first area, it's like the first ascent, the second ascent, the third ascent, and then once you've done the 3 ascents, you unlock the basement, which is 3 more gargantuan floors that's treated as another separate dungeon. That leads to 2 super bosses. It's huge. And it's like, if you're into those kind of games, if you're into those like, if you've ever wanted to play an MMO, but you don't like the whole having to interact with other people, then abs-fucking-lutely play 12. 12 is phenomenal. But there are things you have to understand with 12. That, Final Fantasy, when 12 came out in 2006, you gotta remember, at that time, a lot of other JRPGs were on the market by then. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne was on the market and doing reasonably well. Digital Devil was on the market. Strange Journey was about to come out. Persona 3 was on the doorstep. Legends of Dragoon, you know, from the PS1 was doing well. Chrono Cross was a thing. There were so many other RPGs on the market that American Fan one, like, yeah, I get that. But there were so many other RPGs on the market that Final Fantasy was losing the cultural powerhouse it had during the SNES and PS1 era, where like Square were like the only ones making RPGs in that time. And so they wanted 12 to not necessarily bring everyone back to their side, but kind of prove to people that they've still got it and there's still a reason why they're the definitive company. So 12's scale went insane, its ambition went insane, and things were lost along the way. Despite being the biggest game in the series, it probably has the simplest story of the lot. It's basically 2 different nations at war with each other and you're stuck in the middle of it. and one side's clearly losing, and eventually they lose completely, and it's what do you do now? The story, in fact, has a lot of like a rebellion versus the Empire, like a very Star Warsy feel to it, but fantasy. And the director of the game quit the company 6 months before it came out, which usually spells doom for the game, so the fact that the game still came out as polished and as fun as it is a miracle, but, you know. But yeah, the director straight up left 6 months before the game came out. But it is super enjoyable. I did a Let's Play on it, and it was 50 videos total, and all of them were around 40 minutes long, and I didn't cover everything. I covered every single hunt, but not every single side quest. I didn't fight the game's hyper-secret, ridiculous, if you don't have a guide, you're never finding it super boss, and I mean that. You have to trigger the game's ultimate hunt and then not go to it to try and find this optional super boss. So it's like, what? And you have to go into the Great Crystal, which is a very unique but frustrating dungeon because it's a maze. And it's a maze that disables your map, so you have to feel it out to figure it out. Which is, you know, the intention. And they hide a super boss there that's only available there if you accept the hardest quest and accept the hardest hunt in the game, but don't go to it. And you're like, no one was gonna fucking find this. No one was gonna find this without a guide. But then you realize the whole game's filled with that. The 3 ultimate weapons of the game, you're not finding any of them without a guide. And that's a fact, because they're invisible. They're invisible in invisible chests that only have a 1 in 200 chance of spawning, that in that chest only have a 1 in like 2,000 chance of actually giving you that weapon. And the only way people get them consistently is because they like quick save at like hyper specific positions, quit out and load it so the RNG number will be an exact number to get it every time. And there's 3 of them. And it's like, why is this a thing, Final Fantasy 12? Why did you just do this? But they did it anyway. And it's like 12, like the entirety of 12 is littered with that shit. And it's intentional because the amount of stuff you'll stumble in through on a casual playthrough will be mostly littered with things that the person next to you who tried it didn't stumble into. Which what made it more appealing. It makes the adventure feel more nice. It's just if you're going for 100% completion, holy hell. But so I said 12, Square was all on this idea that they had to prove they still had a place in the market. So we're idiotically over-ambitious with everything. They pushed the PS2 to its absolute limit. And it's why in the Western version of the game, some content was straight up cut. Because especially in Europe, the PS2s in Europe only run at 50 Hz because of 50 Hz TVs. And so some content straight up didn't work. Yeah, Final Fantasy series is too grandiose for me to 100%. Yeah, I get that. Some Final Fantasies I think are easier to approach and at least... Like, with the Final Fantasy series, let me make this my disclaimer. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but I'm having fun, so here we are. A lot of the Final Fantasy games, what I consider 100% is when I'm satisfied. Most Final Fantasies, I'm sure if you looked into it, I don't actually have 100% on. But I did everything I wanted to do and went, yeah, that's good for me. Like in Final Fantasy VII, I've beat every super boss. Might be able to do Type 0 though. Yeah. Type 0 is such a weird game. I remember when that was coming out, a lot of people thought because it had 0 in the name, it was going to be like a precursor to the original Final Fantasy, or linked to it. And no, it's an entirely different thing. It's because you're part of an academy, and all the classes are numbered, and you're part of Class 0. And because you become like together, like the ultimate vanquishers of evil, you become the Type 0. And it's like, alright. I've never actually finished Type 0 though, that's one of the other ones I haven't finished. I got it at the time for the Episode to Sky demo for 15. Because that was the only way to finally be able to try 15, so of course I got that demo. But it's like, RE4, wow. I've still got Resident Evil on the brain. Final Fantasy IV, for me, that's getting the Excalibur sword and the Holy Armor. That's enough for me for 100% in the base run. Because you have to go out of your way for both of them. Oh, and getting every summon. Because you have to fight the summon to get them, so they feel like collectibles. In that sense. Not all of them you have to fight, but most of them you have to fight. So they always felt like collectibles, so I always got to get them. But in terms of like every minor detail, and every single piece of loot, and hunting down every single treasure chest, I don't bother. Or like 6, where it's like after a set point, if you haven't got everything, you're never getting everything. Because halfway through the game, the entire world radically changes permanently. And some dungeons get locked off, some dungeons radically change in their design and aesthetic, and new ones open up elsewhere. But it's the same in that one. In 6, and what I consider 100% is hunting down all 7 dragons and getting all the espers, which is that game's equivalent of the summons. Anyway, what am I doing? Alright, going out hunting, got it. 13's easy to 100%. Problem is you have to actually like the game first. And most people don't because it's hyperlinear. Yeah, Fairy Fence's it's not a sequel though, technically. It's actually a spin-off. Because it's not continuing the canonical storyline, and it's a different genre. It's going to involve every single character from the original alive and dead, but it's going to be a top-down tactical RPG, and I'm like, damn it, you know, like most people have been asking for a sequel, and their answer is well, you're getting more of a okay, it's Merbert Farm. You're getting more of a spin-off, and I'm not a tactical RPG person, so I'm probably gonna skip. If I'm honest. No, I thought it was the only mechanics were changed. No, it's a genre jump. It's partially why it's a spin-off, because it's a different genre. Idea Factory, GJRPG, and Compile Heart, their publisher. I am, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough. All of them have made it clear over the years, and it's not that they're done with turn-based JRPGs, it's just they want to reinvent the wheel with JRPGs a little bit more. They want to kind of make their own You didn't... Oh no, yeah, no, the game's not canon. It's why there are characters that are dead that are coming back. But it's why they're trying different things, and why they're doing them in spin-offs. Because Neptunia recently did something similar as well, with Sisters vs. Sisters. Where that game, despite having a mainline budget, and a lot of people thought it was a mainline game, is actually a spin-off that's just trying different things. And that really caught people by surprise, because when we saw it was a mainline budget, and it was using a brand new engine for them. I think they moved it to Unity. People were like, oh, the 5th mainline game finally happening. And they went, no, because it's an action game, or more action focused with its RPG mechanics. It's a spin-off, and it's like, oh, okay. Great with SVS. I felt like they should have done something similar to Atelier Sophie 2's mechanics. The problem is that I'm a sucker for traditional RPGs. The only problem I had with Riser at the time was that it feels like the other 2 characters, you can just leave them on autopilot and they're fine. Whoever you're controlling, just leave the other 2 to figure it out themselves, and they will. Oh. Ah, damn it, I was hoping to get here in the day. Whereas what we got was overly restrictive, kind of gives me Mach 2 vibes. But then I say that, as much as I enjoyed this game's gameplay system, it does feel very much, to an extent, maybe it changes later on, that it's bombs or nothing in this game. It feels like bombs do most, if you can get the right bomb crafted, that will do the work for you, and all the skills and whatnot are just secondary. They can be helpful in a pinch, and you should use them to start with, but your items are your real magic. So in this ends up feeling somewhat restricted in places as well. I said maybe that changes later on when I get better equipment and whatnot, because we still do good damage with all this stuff. It's just some bomb items feel really strong. A bit of me leave it with better bosses. Yeah, true. I'm still excited for Sisters v Sisters. I wish the way they announced that it's coming to the West was a bit easier to follow. Because I get it that the game story has a theme around the mobile industry taking over, so making it that you have to text a specific number, and then you get a pre-recorded message phone call telling you that Sisters v Sisters is coming to the West seemed a bit it makes sense, but it seemed a bit crazy to me. I was like, okay, can you just announce this? Can you just announce it instead of all this mumbo jumbo? But I'm also at least happy it's getting localized, because even ignoring the fact that I'm always okay with dubs, Neptunia, I've always felt have been like on the upper side of dubs. I've always felt they've had pretty strong dubs, and I've always enjoyed the performances I've got, even in like the earlier games where they weren't as like consistent. And so hearing that the dub's coming back in this new one is great. One of my only bones to pick was having to use full TP rather use items. Yeah, fair enough. Probably could be also require certain abilities. Oh, did that enemy count? It did, okay. I didn't even check. I just saw the golden thingy and I was like, I should probably go that way. I'm also curious if there'll be a point where another party member kind of catches my attention and I want them on the party. Because as it stands, I'm pretty happy with the setup we've got. I mean, Julius kind of out as, you know, I die. I mean, like, Julius kind of cover the bases and everyone else just, like, fill in certain roles. Like, with Sophie being more magic focused, Core being more item focused, and Monica just kind of like being more jack of all trades. TP stuff in Sophie 2, it adds to the general presentation of the mechanics, which is the aspect they took from Ryza. Oh, okay. Because I am curious. That's the thing, like, of a lot of it. Like, I'm curious when I eventually do get to it, like, how I will feel about it. Because there's sometimes it's like, and it happens to everyone, it's just nature of opinion, where people will be like, oh, this thing is so great, this thing works so well, I love exactly what they do here. And you try it yourself and you're like, I don't see it. But then equally, there are points where people are like, oh, this felt super restrictive, this didn't work, this didn't happen the way it should have. And then when I try it, I'm like, oh, I love this. I don't think they're the right enemy. I think these are the wrong ones. It's one of those aspects I thought was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, you're still... I forgot to heal you, little lady. Sorry about that. I was too busy healing everyone else. But then, Gus as a whole always have the habit of, no matter what happens, they're going to keep on trying new things, and I can respect that. It's the same with what we were talking about with Square, just at least Gus always tend to keep it in the same genre. They don't completely radically change the genre like Square does sometimes. You know, with 13.1 and 13.2 being active action RPGs, and then 13.3 being straight up an action game, and 15 being an open world action game, and then 7 Remake being a RPG action again, and now 16 being a hack and slash. Anyway, I request that once you face the final story boss, that before you play, just let the background music play and run for a few minutes. Okay. I'm guessing it's one of your favorite tracks. I had someone else hop in before, and they're like, I was like, oh, and they talked about how much they love like 2 or 3 very specific tracks in this game. And I'm guessing that's what you're guessing at. Oh, finally, we can talk to Clock Bro. He's around again. He's been avoiding us for forever. Good meeting, Mr. Horse. Welcome, Sophie. Well, if it isn't Sophie. It's been so long, I forgot the voice I gave you, Harold. I think the last time you actually let us talk to you was, I kid you not, like session 2. Well, if it isn't Sophie, you shouldn't be out so late at night. Oh, Harold, you stink like alcohol. You're drunk, aren't you? So you can tell. That's right, I'm drunk, totally drunk. Sheesh, you're drinking too much. You're going to bother other people. Oh, Sophie's OST. Leia Zia also is also... It's probably B. Yeah, I've heard about that one as well. Like, there's a whole bunch that are from the PS3 era that through the new like PlayStation program I could get and try. The only problem is that, you know, PS3 titles, you can't download them, you can only stream them, and so I worry about input lag being really bad and frustrating and affecting the experience. Oh, come on. Give me a break, Sophie. I used to always look after you. You'd always call out like, Harold, and follow close behind me. I still remember that. Hey, that was a long time ago. Exactly how much have you had to drink? It's all good. I'm free to drink however much I want. Look over there, that's Harold, the clockmaker. He's always loitering around town, he's never doing his job. That's right, I thought he was just lazy, but apparently he's not very good at fixing clocks. Huh? His father was a genius clockmaker. Why did his son turn out so pathetic? Damn it, everyone's always comparing me to my dad. Harold, you shouldn't pay attention to them. I know my skills are nothing compared to him, but damn you all! Sophie, you could have a face on you that wasn't just beaming smile. He's clearly going through shit. Harold, you seem really concerned. Maybe I shouldn't have been so hard on him. There we are! I just had to trigger that, okay. We can get that third recipe book soon. I have probably unrealistic expectations for OST songs and Atelier games now. I've heard so many wonderful songs the past couple of years. I deal with Flowers of Algernon. Yeah, but it's the same with a lot of things. Like, if you get so used to like one being like at like the peak quality, anything that's even remotely less, you're like, what? Come on here, what's going on? Well, with me, like, I always try to appreciate whatever game I'm playing for its own merit. Like, I always try and just take it for what it is, and like, even if like a previous game's soundtrack was far better, I will still be like, okay, but what did this game do that was cool? You know, like, that was the biggest struggle I had to go through when Castlevania got rebooted. The original franchise's soundtrack was so iconic and memorable to me, so then going super like dark orchestra in the reboot, it felt so different and so off to me, but I still tried to be like, okay, they wanted to do this style, how is it on its own? If it's compared to the original flaws it, but on its own, is it alright? And that's when I started to appreciate more of the tracks. And I try to apply that all the time. It was the same when 343 took over Halo. Halo 4's soundtrack is very different from like 3 and Reach's. And I prefer 3 and Reach's soundtrack, but I still try to appreciate 4 for its own thing. So if I want to make my if I want to space things around my expectations, Gust games would both be compared to Knights of Azure, because my style, my genre is either gothic rock or orchestral rock, and both Knights of Azure games live in those genres, and so I loved their soundtracks. Welcome, cutie. Who are you? I sing at this shop at night. So you're a singer? That's right, be sure to listen, okay? Good approach to struggle for me as well. Do enjoy the boss battle with a certain boss in S2. Yeah, fair. Oh, actually, she's singing? Hang on. I wasn't expecting her to actually start singing. 10 for power metal and thrash metal? Yeah, fair enough, dude. Don't get me wrong, all kinds of metal I tend to appreciate. I like a lot of metal. I think it's an underrated, I say underrated, nowhere near as underrated as it used to be, but I still underrated form of music. And I really wish more Hollywood films would lean into it, because imagine that this big crazy, I don't know, like a new Godzilla film comes out or whatever, because there's always another one. And like in the big final fight, instead of this big orchestral piece, it like rips into hard metal. You'd be so amped up. I would be so amped up for the fight, more so than the orchestral. But I wanted rock and metal to be in both Sonic films. No luck yet, but they are aware that people really want Crush 40 to be in Sonic 3, so we'll see how that goes. But for me, it's always like gothic rock, because I grew up with Castlevania, so it's like installed into me, and orchestral rock. Orchestral rock, if done right, is so magical to me. When you can actually hear like a full-blown orchestra doing their work, and then there's rock or metal on top of it. Sorry, I'm taking a minute with the music. Yeah, imagine metal music with that epic Origami battle in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, you'd be like, oh, like, you'd be so like, like jumping on the spot with it. I don't want to leave because this song's so nice. Can I have like Sophie just start clapping? Just be like. That only happened because I talked to her. Like, if I had just stayed here, would she have never started? That was a beautiful little song. Yeah, the music's great. I think she's singing the ending song, I remember right? Oh, so I'll hear it again when I eventually finish it. Oh, it's nighttime. Go to bed. Oh, and we get to see more plot, I guess. Plachta, when are we going to turn you into a human? We've got to be like... I don't know if we're probably miles away. We're only at the end of the second book. But we've got to be turning you into a human soon, right? Okay, I wrote it down. I think I've only really... Let me read that again. Dyslexia kicked in for a second there. I can completely rearranged on the words. I think I've gotten really used to writing things in you now, Plachta. It seems that way. You've been helping me quite a lot. You've been helping me a lot too, so I think we're even. Don't call me on that note, going sorry from memory. Well, even if it is, we get to listen to the song again. If it isn't, I get to listen to a different song, so it's a win-win. Sophie, I remembered something new. It's about alchemy in the past. The past? You mean 500 years ago? Yes, 500 years ago, various types of alchemy research was conducted across many lands. I established an atelier for similar purposes and engaged in research as well. Ah, I can understand that. Seems like someone who would shut herself into an atelier and work alone non-stop. No, the memory is faint, but I feel as though I wasn't alone. Wait, really? You were doing your research with other people? Yes, although I can't remember the details. Regardless, at the very least, alchemy has been researched for over 500 years. Huh, sounds like alchemy has a really long history. By the way, Plachta, can I ask you something? You asked me before about what caused me to start using alchemy. If you remember your research in the past, maybe you can tell me what caused you to start using alchemy yourself. That's a secret. What? Since you say it's a secret, that means you actually remember, don't you? That's a secret. Why are you hiding it? Come on, you can tell me. Just say it. I love Sophie's actress. It's a secret. I'll be going now. Hey, wait up, Plachta. Plachta told you about new gathering field. And Sophie learned Big Eater. What the heck is that? Enhances effect when using food. Oh, okay, that makes sense. The Codex of Creation. I'm guessing we have to make it first to unlock the next one. I'm not going to make it now then. I need to boost my alchemy level a little bit if I can. If they expect my alchemy level to be level 30, clearly I should be trying to make my alchemy level 30. You know? Oh, do I need to get... I was going to say, don't tell me I have to actually, you know, go buy Apcol. I'm sure I have plenty of it. There's no bonus we can get out of this, so I'll just use whatever. I'm trying to think what will drop like good experience. Okay, no, I don't have that much wood. I want to make things where it doesn't matter that much if I burn resources a little bit, you know? Do I not have any reds? Oh, I was going to try and put them together. I do have a blue though, so I can try and lean into that. That's a red. Nice. Plachta? What's wrong? You don't seem very happy. It's not true, I'm perfectly normal. No, you aren't happy at all. We've been living together, I would know. I see. Are you worried about something? Seems I can't hide it from you. Yes, I have a concern. I'd be willing to listen. Lately, I've been feeling a little scared about my own memories. I didn't realize this when I had no memories, but it seems I've lost quite a lot more than I originally believed. Memories about myself, my homeland, my friends, everything. I'd even forgotten about how much I had forgotten. What if I was to lose my memories again for some reason? How much would I lose this time? I don't know if they'd ever come back again, and I may forget absolutely everything without a trace. I start to feel uneasy when I think about it. Plachta, what if I wake up one morning and I've forgotten who you are? What if I can't remember anything at all? If that happened, Sorry, I lost control for a moment. Plachta, I've already decided. I really want to help you regain your memories. I'll get you back all of your memories so you won't have anything to worry about anymore. Sophie. I have never lost my memory, so I don't know how painful it truly is for you. But I can imagine, if I lost memories of Grandma, and Monica, and Oscar, and you... Just thinking about not being able to remember the people important to me makes me really anxious. That's why I want to help you regain your memories. Even if you forget again, I'd help you regain them again too. It might take a long time, but still, I'll definitely see it through. I might not be that dependable yet, but I want you to trust me. Did you just laugh? Guess I'm really not that dependable, or not dependable enough. No, I just thought you're too soft-hearted. You're thinking so much for the sake of a book. There's a limit to being too nice. Sophie, I'll remember what you said. Even if I was to forget everything again, I'll remember those words. It's a promise, Sophie. Plachta, yeah, it's a promise. I'll definitely help you regain all of your memories. That was unexpectedly very sweet. That's way too good to ignore. The -6 attack is a bit like, but that's way too good to ignore. I have that. Let's make a new friendly persona. I think that's part of the problem as well. You can look after that one for now, but I want to make a new friendly persona. Try and make one that's decent. Which, yes, I guess we will end up using these wood logs. I didn't want to anyway. Oh, there's no way we're fitting all of this into one. Oh well. So do we have one that just says explosive yet? So we can get that one quickly done? Because there's one thing in the book we haven't done yet, and it's like make Unibag explosive. Which I thought was, you know, all of them, but no, it's not. I need to buy more flour. Yeah, so this Sophie and Sophia is making every character likable. Yeah, like all of them. I think what helps that the game has such a bubbly, positive atmosphere. It's easier to just kind of take new things as they go. Like it's easier to just kind of be like, oh, that's cute. Oh, they're cool. You know, like it doesn't feel like there's drama between characters, so you can just appreciate them for who they are and take it for what it is. Because I am finding myself very endeared to everyone in this game. Oscar took a little bit. I found Oscar more just odd at first, but he's grown on me. He's alright as well. Do I not have anything that just says, like, explosive? I was hoping with how much new stuff I picked up, at least one of them would have it. Oscar's in the quiet taste, yeah. The only part of the game, I made a joke out of it a little last time. There is a part of the game where it does like show its age a little bit, where they make that to be a trait. That's what I'm looking at the traits for them. That's what I've been looking at this whole time, looking for an explosive trait. That's why I've been like scrolling over every item and not just scrolling, like cutting them all off. Oh, you mean like on the... Yeah, okay. We put it back to the drawing board then. I know what you're talking about. God, that's such an awkward size. That spirit stone. I was like, oh, I'll take that. That's really good. No, that's awkward as hell. Give me a second to check. Be a certain level of... Oh, I need to finish this off because it's Expert Cauldron. I can't just leave it, else it will just fail on me. Ah, okay. I have to get 50 in the middle, got it. Oh, what? I didn't even see that one was this goddamn big. Hang on. Ah, there it is. There we go. I was looking for a, like, actual, like, you know, trait on the thing. There we go. And now we can make a craft. Oh, yes. Who could that be? Oh, you two. Definitely trustworthy individuals that are no way, shape, or form going to, like, rob me blind with how much interest you keep on taking in my stuff. Hello, Sophie. Meklit, Atamina, welcome. Do you need something? There's something we wanted to ask you about alchemy. Ask me, that's fine, but I don't know if I would be able to answer. It's fine if you don't know. Anyway, Sophie, do you know about the Cauldron of Knowledge? Huh? The Cauldron of Knowledge? Yes. Definitely not foreshadowing. I mean, like, come on, these two are suspicious as hell. Like, the very second it came on screen, I was like, oh, okay, these guys are up to something. Apparently, it's an amazing device that allows those without any natural abilities to use alchemy. We've been researching alchemy, but we can't actually use it. Right? Yeah, like but if we had the code and they're after the same thing we are, then that sounds like a rival character. We might be able to use it ourselves. In fact, we might be able to do even more amazing things with it. Who knows? Like what? We might be able to take over the world? Okay, they're bad guys. That doesn't seem very nice. We should do something more fun. Then we could make a castle out of candy. Haha. Now that sounds like it would be more fun to see. Not a bad idea, Atamina. Oh, we kind of got off topic. It's fine. You're in the right house, Meklit. I always go off topic. Anyway, Sophie, that's why we're searching for this Cauldron of Knowledge. Do you know anything? I don't really know. I feel like I've heard of it, or maybe I haven't. We thought so. Like, Atamina is really like, okay, want to conquer the world, do you? Okay, I see. We thought so. Besides, we only heard rumours about it, so we have no idea if it actually exists. That's right. It may be faster to earn enough money to buy a castle made of candy. Suppose so. Thanks for listening, Sophie. We'll see you again, Sophie. That was shocking. Didn't expect them to suddenly ask about the Cauldron of Knowledge. Those two are a little strange, but they seem to know a lot about alchemy. I should ask her about it sometime. Anyway, we can make a craft now. Oh yeah, it's a good thing I took me a few attempts to figure out the the bomb. Oh, so that's the special one we made. Red. I know that's very little red, but I kind of want to keep it one color. That's better. Yeah, totally not sus. Yeah, I like they're super like suspicious at all times. Oh, it's one of these ones. Oh, god damn it. I get, you know, part of the challenge and whatnot, but these, anytime I see, like, gaps in the cauldron like this, I sit down and go, oh, for fuck's sake. So you end up having to, like, do crazy things like this to get stuff fitting. Sure. Morning, John. Nice, that's a healthy amount of experience. Try that, mix it up a bit. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, I forgot I gave him all this. Because he really can't seem to hold that much, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, the one we got is better. I'll rock that for now. I mean, level 20 is still forever away. I mean, we can still make this. It's just it won't be as good. Just so we can advance the plot and whatnot. Ah, screw it. It'll take forever to grind up. Let's just make it. I don't want to use both my gold threads. Hey, a normal cauldron. Oh, thank God. Ah, oh, nearly perfect. We can still figure this out. I think something's got to give regardless. If you can't fit both of them in, something's got to give regardless. Power throw? Wait times using item increases a little, but power increases a little too. Make it super power. Still unlock the third recipe book. Okay. This poor girl rest tonight. Well, rest for 12 hours. She just fucking knocks herself out. That should do it. So, Plachta, do you remember anything new? No, not really. Ah, I see. It's like you aren't remembering anything new lately. I'm very sorry, Sophie. No, that's not something you should apologize for. I wonder why. I can't think of any reasons. Thinking about it alone might not be enough. I should try asking someone about it. Who would be best? It should be someone who knows a lot of things. Maybe Monica or Elise? Who else might know some unexpected things? Maybe Pam? Yes, I'll ask him. Be back in a while, Plachta. Oh, I guess we've got our next quest. Ask Monica, Elise, and Pamela. I want to check out... Before we do that, firstly... Oh my god, there's so many people in town. Tess is in town as well. Hey, Tess. I have so many cooling stones. Fucking have it. There you go. I'm not making another bomb. I've made too many. Sure, we'll go do them at some point. Coffee, yeah. Shop mini-case cloth and clothing items. Perhaps I should buy some fashionable clothes too. Oh. I was hoping to be something interesting. When it's about a person, I'm like, oh, rumor has it, they now have new things in their store. Oh, she's getting better. What are you two talking about? No, you need to fix up even... Oh, what voice did I give Leon? Oh god. No, you need to fix it up even more. I'm most sorry. Sir Julio? Ah, hello, Sophie. Are you shopping? No, I was just being advertised about my armor. Oh, advised, sorry, because I can read. It's because he doesn't take care of it at all. That's unexpected. You're always taking such good care of your sword. I thought I was taking proper care of my armor as well. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm doing the piano, because I know there's a trophy for having Sophie master it, and when I was looking into it, it just said that just play it once a day and she'll gradually get better and better. I thought I was taking proper care of my armor as well, but it seems Leon thinks otherwise. That's because it's no good at all. You are leaving dents everywhere. Dents? I don't really see anything that bad. Doesn't matter if they aren't that noticeable at a glance, you need to fix them. I know of people who lost their lives because of the tiny dents they didn't fix. That's scary. Exactly. That's why you need to maintain it properly, just in case. Leon reminds me of that, you know, the teachers you always had when you leaned back on your chair and they tell you that someone broke their neck with the chair going backwards, and every single teacher somehow had that story. That's what Leon strikes me as. She probably says that story to everyone who's got like a slight mark in their armor. I once knew someone. Like, you know, that's what it reminds me of. Maintain it properly, just in case. Thank you very much for your guidance. I'll be more careful from now on. You're really straightforward, so you'll be fine, as I warned you. Be sure to take good care of your armor. Your voice makes Leon sound so angry. It's not my intention. Yes. I should be careful about maintaining my items too. It was just like when we first met her, she was a bit more like suave and like posh-ish. So I leaned into my natural accent a little bit more. And I can't do soft, quiet voices, so anytime Core talks, I instead just make it sound weak. Instead of trying to talk super softly and quietly, I just go, "Oh, hello, Sophie. How are you today?" But I try and make it more like that she's like a little like, with everything. It was also hilarious nonetheless. Well, I'm glad I aim to please. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Who did I need to talk to? Sorry for the main event. Monica, she's around. Elise. And that's Marguerite, that's not Elise. Elise's bookstore, got it. It took me a second, it's been a while since I spoke to Elise. Hello, Elise. Oh, Sophie, welcome. There's something I wanted to ask you. Ask me? What could it be? Well, I want to know of ways to remember things you've forgotten. Oh no, Sophie, have you forgotten something? I guess you could say that. This is troubling. I never forget anything after all. Ah, right. You actually have a really, really good memory. How did I think about it? I read in a book once that drinking tea is good for remembering things. Tea. Tea, huh? Also, it said that fish and various types of nuts are good too. I didn't know that. Oh, thank you, Elise. You really helped. Really? Oh, that's good. Yeah, see you later. So where is Monica, actually? It says she's around. Right? Yeah, she's around, so where's she hiding? Okay, no sign of the blacksmiths. Remember one thing, when I'm not around trying to experiment with alchemy, a lot of synthesis effects will be dependent on colour and such. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been trying to do a little bit. I'm still kind of feeling it out. But I'm also... There she fucking is that part of the problem... And it's entirely my own fault, is that, you know, I'm not streaming this game every day. It's very much like my chill out game, so I'm often streaming other things. So I'm not on it all the time to figure shit out. I should be doing more things off stream. It's just I'm always wary that, you know, it could lead to random cutscenes I'd rather experience on stream. But thanks for chilling out with us, one man. Thanks for hanging out, and I imagine it's like awkward time, because I know UK streaming is always awkward time. You take care, man. Tomorrow's going to be Genshin 3.0, so that's going to be a ridiculously big stream. Probably. Oh, hello, Sophie. Are you here to buy a clock? Nope, I'm just browsing around. I already have a clock anyway. I see. You hardly ever show up to prayers, so I thought you didn't have one. Sorry. Don't be so hard on her. I'm sure Sophie has things to do. There are lots of times when I'm concentrating on my work and forget what time it is. I can't blame her at all. That's good. It's mostly my hours anyway. See you next time around. Yeah, no worries, dude. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for checking out, coming in. I appreciate it. My live streams have been more active with chats the past few streams anyway, and I'm loving it. So it's been nice to have the extra face around. You keep your promises, so you're fine, Harold. Sophie's at fault because she makes promises and forgets about them. Alright, that's enough. Yeah, I finished with the adjustments. Thank you very much. Still, is it really necessary to adjust it this often? You're coming here every week. Wait, you are? It makes me uneasy when I don't know what time it is, and I want to make sure it's always on time. Anyways, thank you for making the adjustments. See you later, Sophie. Be sure to come to the next prayer. Okay, see you later. She's really serious. Yeah, she's really admirable. I need to keep better track of time too. Okay, and that's it for this conversation going. So where's she gone now? Because that was a collective scene. Okay, you're back in the plaza. Usual place? Yes. Monica! There's something I wanted to ask you. What could it be? Well, you see, lately Plachta isn't remembering anything new, so I thought you might have some ideas why. Plachta's memories? You're still writing recipes into her, right? Yeah, I am, but... See, maybe you just need to write even more recipes into her. I wonder if that's the only option. I'm sorry, I can't think of any particularly clever ideas. No, it's fine. Thank you, Monica. I'll see you later. And Pam! We get to listen to this, like, the most upbeat church theme in a game ever. And on there it goes. Pamela, do you have a minute? Ah, why hello there, Sophie. What do you need? This is hard to explain, but what do you think you should do to restore the memories of someone who's lost them? Memories? Let's see. I think the best way is to give them a big shock. A shock? Yes. For example, you could use a wooden pole to bonk them on the head. I'm sure you've had to do that to several people, Pamela. I think if you did that, they would lose even more memories. Oh, was that idea no good? No, it's fine. Thank you, Pamela. You really helped. That's good. Come back and visit any time. Yeah, I will. See you later, Pamela. What is it? Such a you can't not whistle to this track as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's so like cheekily charming. It's just like ah. Every single time they made a church theme really upbeat and kind and soft, and I can respect that. Even if I'm not a religious person. I couldn't find any clues. I can't hit Plachta unless she can drink tea either. That's my only hope is to keep writing. Only choice to keep writing lots of recipes into her. Oh, hello, traitor. Oh, hello, troublemakers. Hello, Sophie. What a coincidence. Ah, Merklet. Atomina. What's wrong? You seem a little down. It's just... Alright, these two know a lot of things. Maybe they can give me a clue. That's what I want to ask both of you. You have a question for us? That's unusual. We'll answer whatever we can. One of my customers has lost their memories. They can't remember anything about the past, so I was wondering if there's any way to help. The memories? See, it's only one thing I can tell you. You need to get them as close to their original state as possible. Original state? Just think about it, Sophie. Let's say you forgot what book you were planning to read next. Would you remember when you're in the kitchen? Not really. If anything, you remember when you're standing in front of the bookcase. That's likely because you were in front of the bookcase when you made plans to read it. The bookcase is closer to your original state than the kitchen in that case. Oh, I see. Original state. Right, original state? I've got it. Yeah, she's gonna be like, if we could turn them back into a human, they'll remember. Thank you, Mechlet, Atamina. I think I'll be able to do something thanks to you. See you later. Sounds like we were able to help. That's good. Sophie's always helping us, so we need to help her once in a while. Plachta, I think I know the reason why your memories aren't coming back. Sophie. Oh, Sophie, what's wrong? Why are you so out of breath? You really need to turn back into a person. Sorry, Sophie, I don't understand your reasoning. You were human before, right? But you're a book now. There's probably a limit to how much you can remember while you're still a book. I think because you used to be human, there's some memories that won't come back unless you're human again. I see. You're saying that there are memories that won't return unless I'm in my original state. Yes, that's it, exactly. I told you before, it wouldn't be impossible in theory. I know, that's why. But I also told you that the chances of accomplishing it were close to nil. Turning a book into a human is easy to talk about, but talking about it and doing it are completely different. Sophie, achieving this would require far more advanced alchemy than you seem to believe. Still, I need to do it. Sophie, I made a promise. I promised that I'd help you regain your memories, Plachta. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. I'll do it to reclaim your memories. I understand. You're quite stubborn after all. I won't try to discourage you anymore. And it's true that I've made a promise as well, that I would trust you. I'll leave this up to you. Thank you, Plachta. Now that that's decided, time to get started on Operation Humanize Plachta. Sophie, could you do something about that name at least? Take time to think. Okay. As I said, go do shit. We've got 2 quests we can go do, and we've got a new area we can go check out, so we'll go do both of them. Oh, we can try one of the quests in this area. Oh jeez, okay, there's a lot of new areas. And their link's good. Oh, okay. We'll go there then. To start with. Oh yeah, there's literally, they're right there. Oh, what is that thing? Oh god. Okay. That's why the uh-oh music started playing. That's why the uh-oh music started playing immediately, because it's like, you're gonna regret this. Oh god. It took so many different status conditions and attacks and damage, and okay, it's nearly dead. I was like, and it's still like ticking on. I need you to live no matter what. Here we go, this is what I wanted to see. That's why I did delay face attack. See what specials we can get out of this. Oh, damn! And a trophy unlocked, ultimate attack. Oh, shit! Oh, God! What? That was sick. And it's still alive. What? It's broken anyway, so we can just rinse it. But That was sick. Everyone's like super nearly dead though. There's been that demon in the shop. I'm surprised we survived, to be fair. That was more luck than judgment, it feels like a little bit. I think that thing could have absolutely rinsed us if it just attacked us differently. Are you protecting this? Oh, this is a nice punky beat. For being here in the day. Alright. And... okay, we can get that there on the way, and then we can check out both the Puzzling Path and the Green Ruins. And there's another area somewhere, wasn't there? No, never mind then. It's just those ones. So we need to do the long goddamn hike. Oh, nice. That's actually helpful for the long hike. Extra life points. Since that ticks down per step. Oh, and there's what we're looking for. I want to unlock the third skill book before we wrap up. I said before, this stream is going to be slightly on the shorter side of everything anyway. Not just because I did, 6 hours of Resident Evil yesterday and managed to finish it, but also because Genshin tomorrow is going to be so long. And so for the sake of, well, at least I'm predicting it will be long. If something might happen, it might end up not being as long or something, but I'm predicting it will end up being like a near all-day stream. And then Soul Hackers 2 at the end, it's going to be on Friday. That's also going to be super long. And the reason why it's Friday, not Thursday, is because it doesn't become available for me to launch until the evening on Thursday. And so I'd rather just stream Genshin that morning and then leave Soul Hackers for Friday. And to be fair, even if I did try to do it the other way around, I think I'm working Thursday evening. Oh god, more of these demon fucks are around. Forbidden Deal's an interesting skill. Boost my attack but lowered my defense. Oh my god! Yeah, that attack boost really panned out for the demons, didn't it? They really thought about that one long and hard. It's like, yeah, let's boost his attack and lower his defense, and we'll kill him before he gets to rinse us, and then he just next attack just slash. Oh, 2 new shirts. I wonder if either of them are better. I almost got better LP in defense, but all around is weaker. Sure, you look after it. Not that I'm using any of these 3, but you can look after it. This area might actually be pretty good for grinding if I can get consistent with these demons. Oh, whoops, already put up my inventory. Let's get out of here then. One more area to check. So I still have the bigger backpack, so how are we already out? Let me see if I can like craft a better version of the backpack at some point. See if I can make it even bigger. And this is mostly lions. It's also a linear area. Oh, okay. There's nothing new here. At least from that collection, there was nothing new. Let's go, turn home, turn in these quests, try the piano again, see if that counts as taking time. Well, she's going to auto-sleep because we came in at night. Yep. Which will probably, yep, I was going to say that would count as next day, so it will trigger the scene. I see, there's nobody visiting this atelier as usual. Oh, Harold, are you here just to look again? No, not today. I actually have some work to discuss with you. Wait, really? What kind of work? I want you to prepare gunpowder for bullets. Gunpowder? I don't care what kind it is, or the quality, I just need lots of it. Okay, got it. But how are you acquiring your gunpowder up until now? I was buying it from merchants. So why are you suddenly asking me for it? No big reason. I just thought I'd bring some business to an atelier where I can hear the crickets chirping. You do odd jobs? It seems like perfect work for you. I don't do odd jobs, I'm an alchemist. Well, it doesn't really matter. Just bring it to me when you have a decent amount. See you later. That was so rude. But he did give me work out of consideration. If he did, I need to work hard and exceed his expectations. 10 cane stone. Hang on. You need 10 cane stone? Oh, he's gonna be in for a fucking shock. Nope. Harold, I brought the gunpowder you wanted. Oh, let me see. I said I don't care about the quality, but let's see just how much of this is usable. So how is it? Sophie, did you really gather all of this? Yeah, I did. Is it no good? No, it's the opposite. This is far better quality stuff than I get in stores. I'm impressed you managed to gather something so good. Really? That's good, I'm relieved. I really am surprised. I didn't think Sophie would come this far. Harold, what are you muttering about? Nothing, never mind. More importantly, I need to give you your payment. Nice. Thank you. That will cover bomb tax for like 3 weeks. No one will ask you for work. Sophie, if you don't mind, can I ask you to do more work in the future? Of course. Just let me know anytime. See, thanks, I will. I like how he criticizes us and like makes points of saying that we don't get any customers. I don't fucking see any customers in here, jackass. Flickering light from Spruce and talk to a fortune teller. I still have no idea what either of them would be. Right, one. I know we're low. That could be quite good to buy right now. I know we'll be able to make one later on, but you know, that's quite good for now. Let's turn these in, see if we can bump ourselves up a bit. Nice. We fought. What do you mean? Don't know? We fought a Thunderous. It might just be because it was a chance and not its native spawn. What happened there? Hang on. What happened to my headset? 1 second. Let me sort this out. My headset disconnected for a split second. I might have just knocked it or something because I was moving my leg when it happened. Scared me for a second. No, it did. I was like, what happened? Where's my mic go? It just completely DC'd for a sec. I got exactly enough. Jeez. No, I wanted you. This is what we used to be. Oh, so when it's like ones it's like, hey, kill a monster and we'll reward you. If you can like super stack it up and kill loads of them, they'll give you more. I wonder if we'll be able to travel to another country eventually. There's only going to be so much room on this map, right? Ooh. You're always really helpful. Thank you. Oh, it's Fritz. Ah, Sophie. Hello. Are you here to shop too? Yes. I'm having her make doll parts for me. It's convenient for some of them to be in the same shape. Oh, I didn't know. There's one thing that concerns me. It seems like a lot of these parts are very large. In fact, they seem too large. I'm actually going to be doing the final touches on them. I asked for them to be large so I could adjust them. Adjust? I can't ask her to do the fine-tuning for me. It's necessary to custom make every part in the end product. For example, all the parts that are used as hands need to be a little different. Every doll is unique after all. This seems difficult. Was that hard to understand? I could explain it in detail to you later. There's no need to hesitate. We have plenty of free time when we travel to gathering. I see. It seems our next trip will be very long. Oh, we're actually doing okay with money. We're not like terrified of bomb tax like we usually are with this. There's a reason why I did that. It's that donation number. The higher that goes, better stuff we'll get later. And since I've got money to burn, I should really just clear it out. Anyway, we got some birds to go kill. Open ruins it recommends? Where's... Oh, way over there? Okay. It's gonna be all these things for the night, isn't it? I need to make it daytime. Oh, we could fight one of you, though. Oh, that music tells me I might regret this. 20 and 19. Oh, it's the Great Demon again. Okay. I managed to get slowed down, so that helps. Hellflame! Oh, jeez. Oh, and you killed the kid, damn it. Oh, but she wakes up with her stats lowers when you wake up from it. That's interesting. That's how they do it. It's like, hey, you get a good revival, but they're not going to feel good when they get up. Which I suppose makes sense. Alright, I hope this is enough. What the fuck? What? Excuse me? He's nearly dead. Alright, we're fine. Actually, I should probably... get better MP recovery in some of you. Right, anyway, daytime. Find the bird. Or let's make it daytime so we can try and find a bird. Now we just survived that hell. We got good experience out of it though, but still. Aha! This is what we need, and then we can turn this in. And see how much more time we need to pass before the game's satisfied and we can see what's next. This should be easy enough though. Bombs continue to feel like the main way to go in all this. Back. But our bomb tax is going to be real expensive on this one. Yeah, 352. Ugh. She's li- hmm. What are you so worried about, Sophie? Oh, Plachta, I was just wondering, what exactly is a human? Is this a philosophical question? No, this is about Operation Humanize Plachta. I already knew, but turning a book into a person is really hard. That's why I warned you. This isn't something to go into half-heartedly. I know, but humans, human features, they have arms and legs. I can't think of anything. Plachta, come over here for a second. I have a bad feeling about this. Hit? Wait, Sophie, don't just throw me into the alchemy cauldron. Let's put some random materials like that. But some no liquid. What is not good for me? Now I just have to stir the cauldron. Hey, Sophie, listen to me. Just stop and listen to me. And huh? Oh, I got a trophy. Operation Humanized Nothing. Plachta? Well, you have legs, so I guess you're more do I really look that way to you? Well, you look more human, depending on how you look at it, I guess. Plachta, you're mad at me, aren't you? Of course I am. I'm so sorry, I'll find a way to turn you back. Wait, it got even worse! Hey, we're going to normal! I managed to turn you back, somehow. Sophie? I'm somewhat tired, so I'm going to sleep. Don't ever try anything weird again. Ever. Oh, I made her really mad. I need to think before I act from now on. You tried. Fuck. Okay, so we just got to wait for the plot to do its thing. So we're still only on 2 recipe books. We really just got to wait for the plot to figure itself out. Debating using that, but it's the only one we really got. Fuck it. Not quite enough to get us there. Still a ways to go. I mean, it's better quality. Won't hold more, but it's better quality. Oh god, there's a lot of I'll just leave it at that. Play the piano obligatory one a day. Yeah, I was gonna say head home. Quite the sigh. What's wrong, Sophie? Plachta, just think about how hard it is to make a human. This again? No, don't worry, I won't do anything like before. See, that's good. But I wonder if it's even possible to create a human through alchemy. See, only based on what I currently remember, but in the entire history of alchemy, as far as I'm aware, no one has ever created a human. I thought so, and I failed big time the other day. That's right, but I do have memories of those that were exceedingly close to human, yet not human, existing in the past. What does that mean? Artificial life forms created through alchemy. However, the rate of success was close to zero, so it raised many ethical questions. Research was quickly halted. Sounds like I'm going to have to think of a way myself after all. I know I need to turn you back into a human to help you regain your memories, but I can't think of a way to do it at all. It's no good! Plachta, I'm going to take a walk for a change of pace. Very well, I understand. Take care. Take a walk. It's literally just, hey, take a waddle around. Uh-oh. Huh? That's Fritz over there. Hey, Fritz! What are you doing here? Oh, Sophie. I just finished my puppet show. I'm taking a break now. I see. By the way, I wanted to ask you this when I saw them before, but the dolls you make seem like they're almost alive. Yes. There's even a legend that says especially well-made dolls gain souls of their own. The dolls I use aren't alive, but they appear that way. It's a point of pride as an artist. They gain soul... Wait, souls? Dolls like that seem like they're alive? I just thought of something great. What is it? You started shouting out of nowhere. I'm sorry, Fritz. I just thought of something I need to do, so I'll be going now. She ran off. What a strange girl. Don't do it. She's going to be like, I'm going to turn you into a doll. It's going to be return, isn't it? Yeah, return to your Atelier. Which way's edge of town? No, that's street. I need to learn this town. Now's a good opportunity. There's edge of town. And all the way back up to Atelier Sophie. Plachta! What is it, Sophie? You seem to be especially cheerful right now. I thought of something. I got a really good idea, a way to reclaim your memories. Really? Oh, it's nearly impossible to create a human. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to create a human. I'll create a doll. A doll? Yes, Fritz told me that especially amazing dolls can gain souls of their own. You said you put your soul into a book, right? So if we move your soul into a doll instead, if I'm in something close to human, we wouldn't need to create a real human for me to take human form. I didn't even think of that. That's an excellent idea. It's also far more feasible than creating a human. Right? Okay, I can finally see the finish line. I wonder what I'd need to turn you into a doll. First I need the doll itself. We'd go nowhere without that. Alright, you need clothes, and the doll can't move, so I need to do something. And most importantly, I need some sort of device to move your soul from the book into the doll. Sounds really hard, but this is for Plachta. I need to do it. Anyway, I should go talk to lots of people. You've learned Alchemist Wisdom. What's that? Increase item power. Brilliant. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Talk to Fritz, talk to Leon, talk to Harold, talk to Julio. So we need the body for Fritz. We need clothes from Leon. We need power source from Harold. So yeah, so clock winding makes sense. And we need something to transition them. Julio's been investigating alchemy. So let's just go pester everyone. Leon's right here. Hello, Leon. Sophie, welcome. I have some really good stuff today for sale. I have really good stuff for sale today too. When it comes to clothes, Leon would know best. I should ask her about clothes for Plachta. Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you today. I want you to make some clothes for Plachta. Plachta? You mean that talking book? You want clothes for a book? I got it. You want a book cover. No, not exactly. You see, I'm planning to turn her into a doll. You're turning the book into a doll? I see. Alchemy is really convenient, isn't it? Okay, this sounds like fun. Count me in. Thank you. No need for thanks. I'm going to need to take measurements. So can you show me the doll? How about that? It's not ready yet. I see, that's a problem. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm the one that asked. Wait a minute. I just thought of something interesting. If we don't know about the size of the doll, we can make adjustable clothes. You can do that? Yep. By using highly elastic cloth, there'll be clothes that can stretch and shrink. That way, it wouldn't matter if the size of the doll changes a little either. She'd still be able to wear it. I never thought about that. Anyway, there's something I need you to do, Sophie. You need to make the cloth I just mentioned. Huh? You can find cloth that's kind of elastic just about anywhere, but it needs to be even more elastic. That's why we need special cloth. I know how to make it, but I don't know if I'm able to make it myself. But I think you'd have no problem making it. What do you think? I think if you know how to make it, I think I can do it. It's good. I'll tell you what to do, and you take care of the rest. I understand. Bring it to you when it's done. Oh, plot item made. There we are. Yeah, Adele cloth. You gotta be able to buy animal fur from somewhere, right? Oh, we're 1 day short, damn it. We're 1 day short, so maybe Tess has something. You're a lifesaver, thank you. It doesn't matter if things overlap. It really doesn't matter if things overlap. We haven't got anything to gain out of it. So you can have up to 5 things. That's good to know. Hey, wait. What exactly are you thinking? Huh? What are you talking about? That's armor. It's all worn out and a total mess. I can't let this slide as a designer. Oh, sorry. If it's that worn out, it might just be better to remake it. Remake it? Yes. If you bring me the materials to use, I could fix it up like new. No, even better than new. Well, remaking it would mean it won't go back to the original, but I don't think that's something to worry about. Do something like that? Oh, that's amazing, Leon. Just let me know when you're up for it. Armor enhancements are at the shop. That'll do. Anyway, here's this. Leon, I finished the cloth you wanted. Good, as I expected from you. This elasticity should be perfect. Yay! That means you'll be able to make Plachta's clothes, right? Yep, although before that, one more thing I wanted to ask you. What is it? Why did you decide to have Plachta wear clothes? It might sound wrong, but if it's just a doll, you don't really need it to wear clothes. That's because Plachta's a girl, for one, but also, Plachta's like family to me. I wanted to get to wear something pretty. Is that not enough? Maybe that was a mean question to ask. There's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to see how you felt. Your answer would affect the clothes I make. Really? You kind of scared me for a moment. Sorry about that. But I know just how much you cherish Plachta now. Just leave the rest to me. I shall make the greatest clothes to her, filled with your feelings. Thank you. Right, one down. Clock shop. Harold, did you manage to make a gun using the gunpowder from the other day? I did, but I made bullets with it, not a gun. Oh, that's right. Oh, right. Oh, that's good, though. I actually want to ask you something. What is it? I heard a rumour, but you're going to pretty far-off places to gather items lately, right? I don't know what the definition of far is, but yeah, I do sometimes. In that case, you're fighting monsters, right? Yeah, quite a lot. I see. Sophie, can I make a request? Can I go with you when you go gathering? Huh? I don't mind, but why? Do you want to protect me from monsters? Don't be so silly. You see monsters all the time while travelling, right? I was thinking about testing my guns out on monsters, that's all. Oh, I see. I guess I said something kind of embarrassing. But I'd feel better if you came along. I'm the one who'd like to ask you to come. Yes, of course. Just let me know when you're going to go gathering. Okay, I look forward to it. Nice. Harold joined the party. That wasn't what we came in here for, but it works out. Damn, they didn't have to give him that good looking of a sprite, of artwork. Damn. And he has good hit rate too. He has a lot of skills, to be fair. I say all the character artworks look great, but it's just like, damn, like they made him like look suave. He looks clean. Anyway. That reminds me, Harold told me about the wind-up clock springs before. Plachta needs springs to move her body. How am I be able to make them? There's something on my face. Why are you staring at me so much? Oh, sorry. Harold, there's something I wanted to ask you. Ask me? Yeah, to tell the truth. You're making Plachta into a doll? That's hard to believe, but I understand what you said. So what exactly do you want me to do? Well, Plachta needs springs to make her body move, and I want you to make them. I see. Yeah, is that okay with you? No, I refuse. Huh? I don't enjoy wasting effort on things that might not even succeed. And I told you that I don't like making clocks. Sure, this isn't an actual clock, but I don't like making the springs either. Find someone else. Harold! I didn't think he'd refuse. What could I possibly do? I will talk to Fritz. Hello, Fritz. Ah, Sophie, do you need something? Fritz is definitely the person to go to about making the doll itself. Yes, there's actually something I wanted to ask you. Ask me? What is it? I'll do what I can. To tell the truth, I need your doll. See, so that's the reason why you suddenly ran off earlier. Sorry about that. Still, you're moving a soul from a book into a doll. I'm surprised you thought of something like that. So you actually want a soul to take residence in a doll? That's right. That's really amusing. I like the way you think. Just leave it to me. I'll create the greatest doll to act as the vessel for Plachta's soul. Really? Oh, thank you so much. Yes. First we need to create the blueprints. Could you wait a little while? Okay, I understand. A doll for Plachta. Time to put my skills to work. This is going to be great. Just don't get too carried away. Which is acting kind of weird. When it comes to dolls, it should be fine leaving it up to Fritz, I think. Lastly, Julio's in the plaza. It took me a second. I had to figure out. I don't remember where he was. He just stands around here for some reason. Hello, Sophie. You seem lively as always. That reminds me. Julio said that he was investigating alchemy. Maybe I should ask him. So, Julio, actually, blah 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 dolls. You thought of yet another daring idea, Sophie. Yes, I was wondering if you had any ideas. Now that I think about it, a while ago I heard about a device related to souls from a certain alchemist. Really? Yes, and there is a certain item that's absolutely necessary for the creation of such device. See, the alchemy actually told me the recipe. Give me a minute. Ah, here it is. Is it an alchemy recipe? Yes, but I don't require it anymore. You can use it however you see fit. Thank you so much. I'll be going now. So we got a new thing to make. Yeah, spirit needle. That's quite the size, Sophie. What's wrong? Oh, just about your body. My body? What are you thinking of? Your body needs wind-up springs to move, right? I asked Harold about it, but he just flat out said no. I see. So that's what you're concerned about. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another way, but I just can't come up with anything. Also, I can't think of anyone besides Harold who I could ask to make the springs. What could I do? I'm sorry. I know this is all for my sake. No, don't worry about it. I'm the one who decided to turn you into a doll. Sophie. But I really can only think of Harold when it comes to making springs. Okay, I'll go ask him to make them one more time. I'm gonna bully him into doing it. Reading soul techniques. Learn how to make spirit needle. We need a soul stone. I'm guessing the soul stone is going to be plot related, so we have to just worry about it later. Harold! Sophie, what's wrong? I know I asked you about this before, but can you make those wind-up springs for me? I could have sworn I refused. I know, but I can't think of any other way. And I don't know anyone else who could make them. You're the only person I can count on. That's why, please Harold, can you make Plachta springs? I guess that's a no. Sorry for asking so much. I just have one condition. Huh? You didn't hear me. I can make your springs, but I have a condition. Thank you, Harold. What condition? You need to bring me the materials. I haven't made anything related to clocks in a long time. I don't have any materials to make them. I just have to bring you materials? Is that not good enough for you? No, thank you so much, Harold. I'll bring you the materials really quick. You're the only person she can count on, huh? What does he want? Hang on. Before we just bolt out of it and move away. What is he actually after? I have a seal Vala, right? Yeah, I have a lot of them. Harold, are these materials enough for the wind-up springs? Yes. Harold, what? I don't know if it's okay to ask, but why did you suddenly say you'd make them? It was just a whim. I just finished a gun I was asked to make. I figured making some springs would be a decent way to kill time. I see. But you seemed really happy when I asked you to make the springs. But really? And I haven't made anything like this in years. I can't guarantee it will go well. You'll do just fine. I believe in you. I'd say that so lightly. I'm not saying it lightly. I really do believe that you'll be able to make them. So I look forward to seeing the springs that you make for Plachta. Yeah, I'll do what I can. I'll leave it to you. I'll bring them over to your atelier when I'm done. Till then, just sit tight and wait. Okay. So need to wait. Need to wait. Need to wait. So the soul stone is an important item, not a generic pickup, so we need to actually go get that somehow. Got it.
Yeah.
Let's go do these. Kill time. Oh, right. I need to introduce it. Hey, sorry for the wait. You're last again, Sophie. I'm sorry. I'm glad I made it in time. Oh, Harold, you're already here? We heard all about it. Harold's going to be coming for us from now on, right? Yeah, we agreed that the other day. You test my guns, after all. Yeah, sure. You're really coming because you're worried about us, aren't you? Don't say stupid things. You have to be so embarrassed about it. But it really would be helpful if you came with us, Harold. I look forward to working together. Yeah. Okay, then let's go. Okay, where are we heading? Calm Banks and the Monsoon Moor. Let's go Calm Banks first, it's right there. And this one is for the purple was. Oh, right. Yep, I know what enemy it is it's looking for. Let's not go here, because they never fucking spawn here. Let's go to the prospector stand. I know exactly what version of that enemy it's looking for. It's the alternate colour of that one. And they show up super quick. If you come to this second area, instead of having to grind them out and wait them out. Nice. And then the other one is way away, but we can get there easy enough. And it's almost a reset of the month, because on day 13, I think it will reset back to day 1 after this. Well, probably on the run there of how much time has to pass to do this. Yep, back to day 1. This should be fine enough. I think we're strong enough to be able to do this. Just, yep. Nice. And because a few days have passed when we turn these in, maybe we will have a result with something. And we can figure out how we're getting a spirit stone. Got this recipe from Julio, but never even heard of this soul stone material. A stone? Who knows about rocks? Maybe Loki would know? I mean, he's a blacksmith after all. I guess that's that. Sophie. Oh, Harold! You okay? You look really tired. I'm fine. I always look tired since the day I was born. Wow, that was fucking extra. More importantly, I brought this for you. Wow, it's a wind-up spring. Is this the one for Plachta? That's right. Thank you, Harold. This will really help. No problem. It's a pretty good change of pace. So, do you think you can use this? Yeah, I think it's fine. Why'd you ask? I'm just a little curious. It's fine if there aren't any problems. You really do seem tired. I'm not. We're going home now. Okay, be careful on your way home. He really was tired. I wonder if he didn't sleep while he was making this wind-up spring. Thank you so much, Harold. Hello, Logie. There's something I wanted to ask you. Ah, Sophie. What is it? Have you ever heard of a soul stone? Did you just say soul stone? Sophie, where did you hear about this? Something bad? No, it's not really. It's just very rare material. It's pretty close to a legendary stone among smiths. Wait, really? Yeah, it's round and very smooth, almost like it was polished or something. If I recall, the last time I saw one was about 20 years ago. 20 years? That long ago? Yeah. I think I found it at the Prospector's Strand. I didn't know it was that rare. What should I do? Really need one? Maybe you should go just check for yourself. What do you mean? Soul stones have some mysterious qualities. I have no idea why, but they're found at set intervals. The last one was found 20 years ago, the one before that, and before that. They were all found about 20 years apart. And maybe if I go now, yeah, it's possible that you could find one. I think the chances are decent enough. But is it really okay? Wouldn't you want to have the soul stone? Nah, I'll pass. I have nothing to use it for. Besides, it sounds like you really need it. Logie! Oh, thank you so much. I'll go check. Alright, so off to the Prospector's Strand we'll go. We just turn in these quests first. And do our obligatory piano poke. I'm curious just how many times you have to do it before you do get that trophy, before you do become a piano expert, because we've been playing it a lot. Anyway, Prospector stand quickly. Oh, okay, right. The name seemed familiar, and I was like, why I couldn't place it anywhere. Logie said that he found the soul stone around here last time. Can't find it. Something's really rare, so maybe it's not here. Or maybe this random enemy just got it. Yeah, monsters! Oh, what's with this music? We're gonna rinse this poor fucking thing, but the music's great. Yeah, don't pop out of nowhere like that. Wait, there's something on the ground. It's round and really... Could this be the soul stone? I did it, I really found it. Okay, I should hurry back to the atelier and synthesize it. That was easy. And then the rest are all waiting games. We'll see if we can turn Plachta into a doll, and then once we get to the other side of that, I will wrap up. Because I intended to wrap up this stream a while ago, but this side kept on going, so I was like, okay, let's see this out first. I'm coming in. What, Leon? My son visit? I'm not really here to see you, Sophie. I came over to talk with Plachta today. Talk to me? I'll try to answer what I can. I'm glad you understand. First, I want you to tell me about your hobbies. Hobbies? Let's see. I enjoy gazing at the surface of the water in alchemy cauldrons. I see. It's a strange hobby. Okay, next, what's your favourite colour? Oh, it's to make sure she gets the right costume. That should be plenty. Thank you for helping me out. No problem. I don't understand how that helped, but I'm glad it was of use. Leon, why do you suddenly want to ask Plachta so many questions? Obviously, it's for her clothes. To make clothes that best fit someone, it's important to know details about them. Ah, I see. This was about her clothes. Now I know a lot about Plachta. All I have to do now is make the clothes. Should both look forward to when it's finished. See you later. She's like a tempest. But I'm sure she'll be able to make you some really amazing clothes. I'm excited to see it. Yes, me too. It's a plot item, so it really isn't going to matter for anything. I'll just throw together whatever. Oh, jeez. Oh, right, it's done. If I recall, Julio said that the soul device absolutely requires this spirit needle. This is the key to getting Plachta's soul out of the book and into the doll. I should think it over. If I did it like that, then this would happen, so... No, that wouldn't work. It's no good. No matter how I think about it, this one thing isn't enough. The idea itself isn't wrong, but I feel like I need several of these spirit needles. But I can't get any more soul stones to make spirit needles. But I can't think of any other way. What should I do? I feel like there's no other options. Yeah, there is. There's someone who can clone them. Make progress. There's a way of getting more of these. No convenient way to get more of an item? Yeah, Corey. That's right. I can ask Corey about it. What the fuck? We need 4 spirit needles. Okay, okay. It's the next thing that's like Compass of Hades. The fuck? That's like extra all of a sudden. And now someone else is going to be done. I bought the blueprints for the dolls, Sophie. Oh, hello Fritz. You finished them? Yeah, here you go. I don't get it at all. I suppose so, but don't worry about it. I'm the one who'll be making the doll anyway. It doesn't matter if you don't understand the blueprints. That's right, that's good. Also, I spent many days and sleepless nights perfecting them. There's nothing to worry about. I kept mobility in mind, but considered Plachta's gender to make sure that there was no lack of feminine curves and... I see. As I'd expect from you, Fritz. However, there are some things I need you to prepare for me. What do you need? Materials to create the doll. You said that you need this doll to be able to move, right? Yeah, that's what I'm planning. I put a lot of emphasis on durability during the planning stage, but I don't think it'll be enough. Normal materials would wear out after they've been used for a long time. That's why we need special materials, like this. I need to make this? That's right. Can you do it? Of course I can. This is a favor I asked from you. I'd love to help however I can. Good. I leave that to you. Come see me when you finish. Got it. Thanks. Materials for Plachta's body. I need to make the best I can make it. Received eternal brilliance. I make alchemic clay. Where am I in my room? There we go. Nice. Reference book is getting pretty full. You're right, thanks to you, my memories have been returning little by little. So everyone helped, not just me. I should thank them next time I see them. You can now give presents to people you know. Walk up to a character and press square and select the present to give them. Friends will change depending on if they like the item or not. That's cute. That's cute. I don't know how much I'm going to use it, but that's cute as fuck. Anyway. Hello, Fritz. Ah, Sophie. Did you finish the item I requested? Yes, I made it just fine. I see. As I expect of you. This is for Plachta. I worked really hard on it. Here it is. What do you think? I can't complain about the quality or quantity. If I have this much, I should be able to make create a superb doll. That's great. Just leave the rest to me. Now how should I start? Okay, Fritz, I leave it to you. I hope it's a really cute doll. Of course, I'll create something beyond your expectations. And I'll bring them over to the atelier once it's done. Just relax and wait until then. Okay, I'll look forward to seeing it. Alright, what's the next part we can work on? Or is it all just wait? Talk to Corey. Corey! Oh, Sophie, have you come to replenish your supplies? No, I came in to ask you something today. I'd actually like you to make more of these. What is this? It's necessary to turn Plachta into a doll. Plachta into a doll? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Oh, right, I haven't told you about it. You see? Blah, 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 doll. I see, I understand now. You need to duplicate that item for Plachta. That's right, can you do it? Would you be okay? It's okay. It seems you're very eager to do this. I can work a little. Thank you, Corey. Oh, but I don't know about the money. You're going to work. It shouldn't be free. Money? Oh, for a duplication, that's fine. I can work for free once in a while. No way. I couldn't let you do that. In that case... I'm so thirsty. I really want some milk. What's wrong with your son, Corey? I told you what's wrong. I'm very thirsty, and I really, really want to drink some milk. If only there was a kind person who would bring me milk in my moment of need, I'd waive any charges for work. Oh, I get it. Fine, I'll get you some milk. Thank you very much. She's like, I'm not going to make you charge you, but fine, just get me something then. Corey, I brought milk. It's true, Sophie. You're such a kind and caring person. You've done so much for me. Please let me thank you by working for you. You don't have to act anymore, Corey. You knew. Yes, you asked me to get some milk so I didn't have to worry about you working for free. Well, I actually did want to drink some milk. Really? Is that all true? Anyway, moving on. I'll do the work you asked for now. Corey, I just need a little time. It seems to be a pretty complicated item. If I rush it, I could... Alright, the toll. Very sorry, but I think it'll take about a week. Fucking hell. Yeah, of course, I'm just thinking you can do it. There's no rush. Take your time and don't push yourself. I understand. I'll take my time. I'll try to finish it as quickly as I can. Thanks. A week? Anything in here that I want? Oh, whoops, clicked off too soon. Oh, Jesus, that thing's huge. Harmonium? That sounds nice. Still the hustle bell at the end. Oh, I can turn in some of these. I know that reduces the reward, but I can do that. That sounds even better. She's getting there. I mean, we need to go kill time. Is everyone else in kill time mode at this point? Wait for Fritz to finish. Leave the rest of Leon. Just need to wait. Spirit Needle. She should take her time. Okay, so we just need to waste time. Let's just do this quick. Alright. Sophie, Plachta, are you home? Leo, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I finished Plachta's clothes, so I brought them over. Here you go. Oh, wow, they're lovely. Wow, this is... What do you think? I emphasized ease and mobility, but I also made it feminine. Leon, these clothes are amazing. Yes, I didn't even imagine it would be to this degree of perfection. Sounds like you like it, that's good. I really like it, right, Plachta? They're quite to my liking. It's good. Anyway, I should get going. I want to see you wearing those clothes real soon. Got it? Promise me. We promise. Thank you very much. See you later. Leon's really is amazing. She was able to make such lovely clothes. Yes, she possesses quite a level of skill. She's obviously not ordinary, even from my point of view. Anyway, that's another step forward in Operation Humanize Plachta. Fritz, it's complete. It's finally complete. What's complete? Plachta's body. My body? Yes, is my greatest work. A somewhat innocent yet cool and dignified face. The body of a young woman, complete with beautiful curves and features, and of course, it's both strong and durable. This is it! This is really it! This is my greatest masterpiece! I see, but this doll really is cute. I believe it will suffice as a vessel for Plachta's soul. Thank you very much, Blitz. I'll be going now. Looks like Fritz worked really hard to make your body, Plachta. Seems so. For an unbelievable amount of detail and dedication in this doll. Yes, we need to think Fritz properly later. Yeah, when we're done Pinocchioing you. So now it's just need to wait for the spirit thing to be duplicated. Let's do that. That should be enough time. Just sleep for a week. Yes? Excuse me. Oh, Corey, do you need something? I brought the items you requested. Oh, the spirit needles. There's enough here. Thank you so much. Corey, did you get a little shorter by chance? I rushed a little too much for you. I'm a little tired now. But I'm okay. I'm sure I'll be back to normal soon enough. I drank the milk you brought me. Corey. Anyway, seeing how I delivered the items, I'll be leaving now. Thank you again, Corey. I'll visit your shop again soon. Yes, I'll be waiting. These spirit needles Corey made. This many, I should be able to make a device to move Plachta's soul. Yes, I'll do it. Where is it? Where's the fucking compass of Hades? There's no way we're going to have enough room for everything in any universe. So I'm just going to kind of like just slap these down and see what we end up on. The doll's body, the wind-up springs to move, clothes for her to wear, and the compass of Hades to move her soul. It's all ready. Plachta, everything's all set to turn you into a doll. She did it? To be honest, I'm surprised. It must have been a lot of work to come this far. Thank you very much, Sophie. No, I couldn't have done all this alone. There was Fritz and Harold, Leon and Corey, Monica, Oscar and Julio too. Anyway, lots of people helped me. That's why I was able to come this far. Still, that doesn't change the fact that you worked very hard. That's why I want to say thank you, Sophie. Thank you for doing all this for my sake. Wait, Plachta, it's still too early to say that. You should say it once you become a doll. I suppose so. I guess you need to assemble your body first. See, I need to install the wind-up springs into your body. Yeah. Next, I need to put the clothes on. Okay, it's done. Dude, that's a doll. So this is my body. That's right. That's what's left to use the compass of Hades to move your soul. Yes. Once I do that, you will become this doll. Alright, I should invite Monica and Oscar. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see your debut. No, that's really not necessary. Anyway, I'll be back in a little while. She just gone out of her way. I think you're going to look wonderful, Plachta. Let's get everyone in. I know you came to me about Plachta's memories, but I never thought you'd do something like this. I was kind of thinking this, but you do some crazy things sometimes, Sophie. I know Plachta used to be human, but normal people would never think about turning a book into a doll, you know. I guess that's true, but this is for Plachta. I'd feel bad if she never got her memories back. We need to talk to Fritz about his doll making, because holy shit. Do everything I could for her. Once I started thinking this way, I couldn't stop. I don't know if I should call that reckless or not thinking about consequences. Yeah, but I think that's just part of what makes Sophie Sophie. Yeah, you're right, one of her strengths. Oh, stop it, you two. You're making me blush. Oh, visitor at this time. Come in. Hello, Sophie. Mekrit, Atamina, why are you here? I thought you were doing something interesting now, so we came over. Looks like we were spot on. Mind if we watch too? Oh, I see. Well, you two have helped me a lot. Okay, I understand. You two can watch. Thank you, Sophie. With our gratitude. Anyway, what are you planning to do? We're going to be turning Plachta into a doll. Plachta? Oh, you mean that book? It seems wonderful. I don't think we'd get to see something that amazing. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, we'll be quietly watching and not about to rob us or ruin anything. Okay, guess we should get started. Do I have a guess? What should I do? What? Yeah, it's open. Hey, thanks for always helping. Aww. I'll be going home now. I bet that's a friendship thing, isn't it? Yeah, trivia unlocked. A happy gift. Given a present. Before we do this, let me save. There's so many people in my house. Let me save. Seems we're quite lucky to have witnessed such an important movie. What's wrong, Sophie? Shouldn't you be talking to Plachta right now instead of me? Talk to Plachta into a doll. Let's do this. I'll start now, Plachta. Yes, please do so, Sophie. Okay. A compass of Hades. Guide Plachta's soul. Oh, Jesus Christ. Plachta! Sophie. Seeing eye to eye, trophy unlocked, turn Plachta into a doll. Yeah, we made progress. Sophie. Plachta, it worked. It really worked. Seems so. It's quite refreshing to be able to stand eye to eye with you. I feel the same way. This is like a dream, having you to be able to stand next to me. You're talking about Sophie, this isn't a dream. It's unmistakably reality. A reality more splendid than any other, which you made possible. Now let me thank you properly, Sophie. Thank you for giving me a body again. Thank you for working so hard for my sake. Plachta! I'm glad! I'm so glad! Sophie, there's nothing to cry about. This is a happy occasion. Looks like it's all done. Sophie started crying all of a sudden though. That's more surprising for me. Hey, Oscar, you shouldn't say things like that. She worked really hard. Let her cry a little. We got to do something really great, Atamina. Yes, I really am quite impressed, Meklit. I'm really glad it worked. To be honest, I was a little scared. The doll parts were all made by others. They're all really skilled, so I didn't think there would be a problem there. But I was the one who made the compass of Hades. I was worried about that not working. If I failed and you disappeared, Plachta, I'd be all alone in the Atelier again. I was even slightly worried. I believed in you, Sophie. Plachta, yeah, thanks. Alright, we should go show you off to all the people who helped us. No, I said that much spectacles were unnecessary. Don't worry about it, let's go! I've completely forgotten about us. Yeah, but they seem very happy. We were thinking about leaving soon, but I don't know if leaving without telling our host. That's right, because we have no choice. We'll just stay and have tea until they get back. That sounds good, I'll go prepare the tea. And she's gonna be like, this is my yard. I already know, I'm still a book floating with you. Okay, I love Plachta's design. She's such a bean. Oh, I mean, you get to listen to a nice song as well as a accomplishment. I think this is I'd assume like the end of like the first act, right? That makes the most sense to me. Like, this whole first act was trying to find Plachta's memories. We've met a whole bunch of new people. So now it's like, hey, we've got her back. So now we can start focusing on the Cauldron of Knowledge, or whatever it was called. And we get to see everyone like, hey, this is the person. The back of her costume we need to talk about, though, because holy shit. And of course, Julia, he's going to be super happy. Like, the front of the costume is really beautiful, the back of the costume doesn't exist. Aww. I wonder if Plachta's going to be standing with me on the main menu screen. Because when I got the new costume was on the main menu screen. Like, when I'm on when it's on the title screen, sorry. I wonder if Plachta's going to be there now, standing with me. We're back. You're late. How long are you going to make us wait? Monica and everyone, we're waiting for you. You ran off all of a sudden. We couldn't just leave without telling you. Maybe too many snacks, my stomach hurts. I didn't think our tea time ended up being this long. Oh, I had fun. I don't mind. Sorry, I ended up talking too much. It isn't your fault, Sophie. It's been a long time since I had a proper conversation, so I got carried away. That makes sense. If you don't get to talk to people that often for a longish period of time, when you finally do, you won't shut up. Whether you mean to or not, like, you will overshare, you will just go crazy, you will just speak. Thanks for coming over today. Also, again, I'm really sorry. No worries, just be sure to help us out at the store again. Sophie, you got to witness something splendid today, see you. Farewell, Sophie. What was this music? That's Amina. Yes, Meklet. They're up to something. Our wish will soon be fulfilled. Jesus. So, my thanks to you. Oh, thanks for the gift. Magic grass. Hey, Plachta, do you remember our promise from before? A promise? Wait, do you mean... Yeah, the promise that when you turn back into a human, we'd go places together. Well, you technically aren't a human, you're a doll, but good enough. See, then I'd love to go with you. It's great, let's go. Look at that. They're saying some fun stuff, unlike before. Now we can actually go take a look. That's right, let's take a look. What do you think, Plachta? Doesn't Mr. Horse's tea have a really nice aroma? Yes, it seems very high class. It tastes really good too, you should try it. Will his body have any problems if I eat or drink things? You'll be fine, I think. That was fun. We browsed various items, and having tea with you was a splendid experience. I feel like it's been a while since I've had this much fun. It's also worth mentioning, just throwing it out there, she's breathing. Plachta's breathing. You can see how her body's moving and whatnot. What the hell kind of doll was Fritz making? Did Fritz make here? You know, that she has eyes that work, can blink, move, like, is an actual, like, a full human in everything but apparent name. And managed to eat and drink just fine, so probably has, like, a natural, like, digestive system. What insanity was Fritz up to? Fritz is the real alchemist here. That's right, in my case it's been 500 years. I'd forgotten what it was this enjoyable to actually have a human body. I was able to remember all this thanks to you as well, Sophie. It's well worth all the work if you're happy. Plachta. But this is only the beginning. Your memories haven't come back, right? Yes, you're still only at the halfway point. My final goal is to reclaim all your memories. I made a promise after all. Sophie. So to do that, I'm going to work even harder at alchemy. Sophie learns perseverance. Aww, shoot this instead of the... Aww. Are you a part of the team? No, you're not. I was going to say, are you actually playable? I think she'll become playable eventually. I think it's just right now. What are we doing next? Oh, relax. Okay, breathe. Do what you want. That's what that is. Which is how which I think will be a nice starting point on the next stream when we eventually get around to it. I was going to check what her new skill was. Break resistance. That's very fucking helpful. I'll take it gratefully. Good. So I'm going to save, and I think I will wrap up. So tomorrow's going to be... Tomorrow, I might end up being a extremely long stream, depending on how it goes. Because Genshin 3.0, that's a huge deal. That's not just, you know, adding a whole new country. It's not just adding new characters. It's continuing the main story and overhauling lots of mechanics and systems. Like, it's a stupid big deal. And is the start of a new series of updates, because, you know, the 2 Point series all stayed under the same banner of, like, being somewhat Inazuma or neighboring area focused, whilst now this is moving to the next step forward. It's going to Sumeru. So that stream, it could be very long. It could be extremely long. But either way, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you then. Also, watch Gamescom tonight, because that's going to be probably the main talking point of tomorrow, of Gamescom announcements.